Chapter 277. In the Tianhai dynasty, there was a decennial competition for the position of the chief merchant. No matter which one it was, it had a great influence. In the last decennial competition, someone defied the heavens and took one of the positions. Similarly, someone was kicked out of the top 10 positions and became nameless, and his family declined. The decennial competition was here again. Some families grew stronger, while others declined. Just like the general trend of the world, it was divided and united. The competition for the top 10 positions was extremely intense. A few days ago, his family was killed, and he was in a state of panic. Today, he finally calmed down a lot, and his worries were pushed to the back of his mind. The people from the Win family are here. I thought they wouldn't dare to come out. They barely managed to get the 10th position last time. I'm afraid they won't be able to keep their current position this time. I heard that the Win family can't find many experts, and all of them are invited from outside. I wonder how much they spent. When the people from the Win family appeared, the sound of discussion rose quietly. Grand Elder Winlei, who was walking in front, twitched his eyelids before returning to normal. Master Shuangmu, why are you wearing a mask? After walking into the arena, Zhang Yin asked casually, because when he came out of the Win family, he found that Master Shuangmu beside him had an extra mask on his face, and his face was ferocious and terrifying. Lin Fei had already prepared an excuse. I have a few enemies in the capital, and I'm afraid of bringing trouble to the Win family. You know what I mean. Zhang Yin hurriedly said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Lin Fei shook his head, indicating that it was fine. Inside the arena, in the center, there was an oval portal. Around the portal, there were 4 mystic spirit, great perfection experts guarding the portal. This dreamland had been linked with the arena, and outsiders couldn't take it away. The experts guarding the door were nothing more than to prevent outsiders from breaking in. Inside the arena, at this time it was not as lively as outside. Other than the participating families, no outsiders were allowed to enter. There are so many people. Lin Fei glanced at it and subconsciously opened the sin point system. 200 sin points found. 521 sin points found. 482 sin points found. Damn, it can't be so much. Lin Fei roared in his heart. He had come to the right place. Advancing from the mystic adept realm to the mystic spirit realm required 100 million experience points. It might seem like a lot, but if one really wanted to level up, it wouldn't be a problem. If I kill all of these people, I won't even have a choice but to level up. Even if I can't level up, I should be able to earn tens of millions of experience points. Lin Fei thought to himself, the golden belt of murder and arson. Lin Fei understood. He wondered if he should make a move and wipe them all out. That way, he could earn tens of millions of experience points and millions of pure yuan pills. The more powerful a person was, the more daring he was. Right now, Lin Fei's guts were very big. It could be said that his guts were not ordinary. He would even covet the Li family's profound heavenly spiritual treasure. As for a group of leveling tools, Lin Fei simply did not have any thoughts about it. In the arena, they stood together in 2s and 3s, forming a circle. At this moment, in one corner, there were 2 people staring at the direction where the Win family was standing. The one with the mask is Master Shuangmu, our target this time. One of the black-clothed men said expressionlessly, with the strength of the mystic adept realm, he killed Mu Kuei. His combat strength is very strong. The other black-clothed man said, it's worth it for me to personally deal with him. These 2 people came from an assassin organization. Mu Kuei was a member of this assassin organization. They came specifically for revenge. Similarly, in another direction, there were also a few people who occasionally glanced at the Win family's location. That's the kid with the mask. A skinny young man full of bandit aura with a face full of disdain said, I really don't understand. How could Yu Guang and Fei Ingwang die in the hands of that kid? They must have been exhausted from playing with women the night before. The rest of them also laughed out loud. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. They're dead anyway. There's no evidence. The other silver-haired man said, "Our mission is to kill that kid. That's enough." The skinny young man said, "I don't understand why the higher-ups want us to take action. Isn't it because we have nothing better to do? We might as well find a woman and have a good time. Just thinking about it is so satisfying. That girl from yesterday can't even get out of bed this morning." The silver-haired man said, "Don't you think this is a good opportunity? Our 18 clans can teach them a good lesson. Wouldn't it be better if we can divert the trouble to someone else?" "Haha, good idea. I'm really looking forward to it." Within an hour, the arena was filled with clans of all sizes. The competition for the position of the chief merchant was extremely intense every time. This year's competition would be even more intense and bloody. There were so many clans vying for the position. Every clan had arranged for 3 experts. With so many experts added together, there were no less than 100 people. The competition would only last for 3 days, so one could imagine the competition. No matter who it was, they could imagine what the result would be. Bloody and cruel would be the only thing left. "Look, the person in charge of the Tianhai Imperial Palace, His Highness the Third Prince, is coming down," Zhang Yun said in a low voice. The arena quietened down. It was completely silent. Lin Fei followed his gaze and saw a young man dressed in a golden robe walking towards the crowd with 4 guards on his left and right. He had the aura of a royal disciple, suppressing many of the other clan's disciples. This prince is inferior to Prince Black Sky. He lacks that domineering aura. It's no wonder that Prince Black Sky can suppress all the other princes. He doesn't live up to his reputation. Lin Fei shook his head in his heart. Lin Fei had never been interested in princes. The Tianhai dynasty seems to be paying attention to this matter. They even arranged for the 3rd prince to personally supervise. Lin Fei said casually, whether or not he was a prince, it made no difference to him. After all, he was still a monster in human form. The only thing that mattered was the amount of experience. The 3rd prince walked up and exuded the aura of royalty. He said calmly, "This prince announces the official start of the decennial chief merchant meeting." The arrival of a prince was merely a matter of formality. After the prince left, someone immediately came up and announced the rules. Everyone could hear the loophole in it. There would definitely be a massacre, and it was still unknown who would be able to come out of it. After the rules ended, a lively scene was about to begin. At the entrance of the teleportation gate, 2 mystic spirit, great perfection experts stood to check if there were any prohibited items. For example, demon cores. At the same time, they were given a teleportation stone. As long as they crushed it, they would be teleported out immediately. It was specifically used to ensure everyone's safety. Of course, accidents were not ruled out. The most exciting moment had finally arrived. The clans began to wait anxiously. "Young Master Li Jian, you should understand the elder's intention." Li Feng stood beside a young man in white. Li Jian, like his name, had a sharp gaze like an unsheathed sword. His background was not too good. As a collateral disciple, he was destined to receive limited resources. This disciple understands. Li Jian's eyes flashed coldly. After entering the dreamland, this disciple will personally kill them one by one. Li Feng's eyes revealed a look of approval. "Your brother Li Yang has already been killed, and there is now an empty position. As the #1 expert in this branch, as long as you can complete this mission, the clan will definitely provide you with resources to cultivate." Li Jian said proudly, "Li Yang is dead, but as long as I, Li Jian, am here, this disciple will definitely let them know who is the real genius. I will use facts to tell them who is the real genius." Li Feng patted Li Jian's shoulder. "Good, you must have ambition. Ever since returning from the Demon Beast Mountain Range, Li Feng had been suppressed by the clan. As a collateral disciple, his days were even more difficult. He originally thought that he could rope in a direct descendant, but in the end he was killed in just a few days. Li Feng was eager to promote an expert. This time he had obtained such a position with great difficulty. Li Feng hoped that Li Jian could complete the mission perfectly and obtain the clan support. That way his days would be better and he would not be suppressed. In a large clan, there were all sorts of conflicts. To have the right to speak in the clan, apart from strength, one had to have the ability to do things. No matter how strong one was, if one could not do things well, he would only be a thug. Li Feng could not wait to make a comeback. So the person who chased after me is called Li Feng. Lin Fei noticed it immediately. Without needing to look, he could tell just from the aura of the other party. The current Lin Fei could already conceal his killing intent. He was no longer an impulsive person. If I have the time, I must kill Li Feng. Lin Fei was a straightforward person. If he said he would kill the other party, he would kill the other party. She never had a second thought. She was a man of her words. When Clan's eldest brother, Wen Lei, walked over. This time we will be hunting demonic beasts and obtaining demonic cores. There will be great danger. Wen Lei said honestly, if the three of you encounter any danger you cannot withstand, just crush the teleportation stone and return. Zhang Yin and Hong Xiazi both agreed. This was a huge temptation. They did not want to miss this opportunity. Who asked them to be born in such a poor family? It was also luck that they could cultivate to this point. Hence, for the sake of resources, they had no choice but to bite the bullet. As long as they did not encounter any danger, everything would be fine. They would be able to come out alive. Unless they encountered a powerful expert, they might not even have the time to crush the teleportation stone. This was something that was destined to happen. They had to go all out. The teleportation gate opened. Every single cultivator who went up would be checked by 2 mystic spirit consummate experts to prevent cheating and whatnot from happening. As for the others, there were no taboos and there were not many restrictions. When it was Lin Fei's turn, a powerful perception swept over him as if it wanted to see through him. Fortunately, I have the system space. No matter how powerful you are, you won't be able to see anything. Lin Fei was not nervous at all. This is your teleportation stone. The guard at the side handed over a black teleportation stone. There were patterns carved on it. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be runes. Teleportation runes. Demonic core point conversion table. Other than the teleportation stone, Lin Fei also received a comparison table of demonic cores. Low-level demonic beasts, 1 point. Profound realm, 2 points. This is also simple and easy to remember. Lin Fei kept the 2 items. Gentlemen, I'll be going in first. With that, Lin Fei turned and walked into the teleportation gate. What a beautiful place, as expected of the land of dreams. When Lin Fei opened his eyes, he heard the chirping of birds, accompanied by the fragrance of flowers. What entered his vision was a sky full of flowers and trees. If he had not known in advance that a large number of demonic beasts lived in the land of dreams, Lin Fei would not have been able to connect it with what he saw before. It was as if he had entered a paradise. Lin Fei took a deep breath and smelled the scent of blood. There's the smell of blood. A moment later, Lin Fei smelled the scent of blood. Meow. In a patch of bright red flowers not far away, a small cat with alternating colors of white and white suddenly appeared. Rip. The cat pounced at Lin Fei with a white flash. At the same time, a crescent moon slashed over, targeting Lin Fei's chest. Crescent moon cat. Lin Fei was slightly stunned. He did not expect a place with birds and flowers to hide danger. Smack! With a wind whip, the crescent moon cat was thrown out. Meow, meow, meow. A large number of crescent cats jumped out of the large patch of flowers. Rumble. In addition to the crescent moon cat, there was also a white lightning cat. Arcs of blue lightning flashed and went straight to Lin Fei's position. Damn, so many cat demons. Lin Fei once again understood that under the halo of the Land of Dreams, there were endless dangers everywhere. These cat demons were not strong, but this kind of attack was indeed lethal, giving people a dangerous aura. Like the wind. Swoosh! A strong wind blew, and the crescent moon cat and lightning cat fell to the ground. Lin Fei looked again and saw a large number of cat demons appeared around him. They were colorful and densely packed, and he could not tell how many there were. Damn, so many cat demons. Won't I die of exhaustion? Facing so many cat demons, Lin Fei was not willing to continue. He did not want to be chased by a large group of cat demons. If there were too many lice, they could kill an elephant. More importantly, in such a large area of flowers, there were countless cat demons. There were also some cat demons with powerful auras. God knows how many cat demons there were below. It was better to leave first. This was the first time he came to the Land of Dreams, and Lin Fei did not want to be the first bird to stand out. He first found a place to take a look at this Land of Dreams. Using the flowing wind movement technique, Lin Fei's entire body turned into a gust of cool wind. The cat demons that pounced on him obviously did not notice that the stranger had left them. They rushed to the previous position without caring about anything, only to find that the person was gone. Lin Fei's body was like a breeze moving with the wind. If it were not for the swaying flowers, outsiders would not know that someone had passed by. So many cat demons. At a glance, the densely packed cat demons were hiding under the beautiful flowers and plants, but they became dangerous killing machines. It was unknown how many people would die under the siege of these cat demons. Chapter 278. The Land of Dreams was vast and boundless. Arcane spiritual treasures could only be refined by mystique venerable ones and above. Naturally, they were not ordinary items. To be able to create such a huge space and be passed down for generations, it was clear that the super powerhouse who created the arcane spiritual treasure of the Dreamland was not to be underestimated. The Dreamland cultivated a large number of powerhouses, and the bloody training played a big role. An hour later, Lin Fei took off his mask and appeared on a large mountain in the Dreamland in a black robe. All he could see were steep mountains that were filled with the aura of demonic beasts. There are so many demonic beasts. Just how many demonic beasts are there in the Dreamland? Lin Fei looked at the mountains and vaguely saw the silhouettes of demonic beasts appearing from time to time. After leaving the land of the cat demons, Lin Fei lamented more than once along the way. The Dreamland was just like its name. There were life-threatening dangers in the Dreamland that were impossible to guard against. To kill demonic beasts, I need to kill powerful ones. Lin Fei's goal was to kill powerful demonic beasts. He might be able to obtain a large amount of treasures and materials by killing some powerful demonic beasts in 3 days. In the arena, Lin Fei learned from Zhang Yin that because the Dreamland had always been open to the public, martial artists were often killed by demonic beasts. Countless martial artists died in the mouths of demonic beasts every year. Some especially powerful demonic beasts would have large amounts of treasures and medicinal pills around them. Lin Fei looked at a tall mountain. I'll start from this mountain. With a thought, he released his perception power and headed straight for the mountain. His powerful perception power instantly saw the mountain clearly. He had a rough outline and knew the specific situation inside the mountain. There are no less than 1,000 demonic beasts. Most of them are low-level demonic beasts. There are also many Mystique Realm demonic beasts. There is a Mystique Realm demonic beast. It should be the king of this mountain. A Mystique Realm demonic beast. Lin Fei immediately made up his mind. I'll kill this Mystique Realm demonic beast first. Whoosh whoosh. Lin Fei landed and rushed into the forest, heading straight for the demonic beasts in the mountain. The low-level demonic beasts could not detect Lin Fei at all. In less than 10 minutes, He entered the interior of the mountain. The aura of demonic beasts was everywhere. Just as he had guessed, there was indeed a mountain king in the mountains that managed this area. In the mountains, demonic beasts wandered. Human-shaped, demonic beast. Lin Fei used his perception power to clearly see the humanoid demonic beast. He couldn't help but feel puzzled when the humanoid demonic beast wearing beast skin appeared. Lin Fei thought of a possibility. It should be a unique effect of the fantasy land, which could help demonic beasts transform. In the outside world, unless it was a powerful demonic beast, ordinary demonic beasts could not transform. After taking human form, the demonic beast's demonic aura soared into the sky, not concealing it at all. Congratulations, Your Majesty. Your strength has improved greatly. In a huge cave abode in the mountains, a small demon was trying to flatter a burly man dressed in black leather. On the huge stone bed, the burly man opened his eyes and a cold light flashed in them. An aura as heavy as a mountain pressed down, causing the surrounding small demons to lie on the ground and tremble. Good, good. This king's strength has finally broken through to the cryptic spirit late phase. Just one step away from becoming a demonic beast king. Congratulations! The burly man stood up. The small demons below complimented him. This king wants to drink. Send up a few jars of good wine. The little demon answered and went down. In the blink of an eye, wine and meat were served. The burly man picked up the wine jar and gulped it down, allowing the wine to flow down his chest. The rich fragrance filled the cave abode, and the small demons beside him subconsciously swallowed their saliva. Grabbing the raw meat, he took big bites. Blood dripped down, but the burly man ate with relish, feeling extremely satisfied. What happened in the fantasy land recently? The burly man asked. In reply to Your Majesty, I heard that a large group of martial artists will come to hunt us demonic beasts in the next few days. It should be about time, a small demon said. This king's strength has improved greatly. It's just the right time to catch a few human martial artists and eat them, especially those delicate beauties. The burly man laughed. Humph, what *T martial artists? This king can kill them with a slap. However, human martial artists are indeed soft and tender. It's been a long time since I've eaten human meat. This time, I must eat to my heart's content. Mighty Your Majesty, mighty Your Majesty, when Your Majesty appears, who dares to challenge you? The burly man laughed. When this king catches the human martial artists, you will definitely have a bite to eat. Ah! As soon as he finished speaking, a miserable scream came from outside the cave abode. Your Majesty, it's not good. There's a human martial artist. A small demon rushed in. Before it could finish its words, its head flew up into the sky, and blood spurted out like a pillar. The burly man grabbed the big saber on the huge stone bed and laughed. His laughter was deafening. Human martial artists, this king loves them the most. After eating you human martial artists, this king might be able to advance to a king-level demonic beast. Lin Fei walked in from the back. It was Lin Fei who killed the small demon just now. Lin Fei confirmed that it was only a Xian-level demonic beast. Without any care, he brought King Kong to the door. This is a robbery. Hand over the item, and I'll spare your life. The burly man did not get angry. Instead, he laughed. Haha, you're just a Xian master martial artist, and you want to rob this king? Are you out of your mind? Boom! A golden shadow flashed by, and a huge palm landed on the burly man's face. His whole body flew out and hit the wall of the cave abode. Crash! Large pieces of rubble fell. Who hit this king? The burly man crawled up. In front of him, Jingguang flashed, and he was kicked out again. Bang! King Kong's foot came down, trampling the burly man to the ground. Roar! The majestic roar scared the burly man so much that his face turned pale. King Kong Divine Ape, a mutated demonic beast. Hiss! The burly man sucked in a breath of cold air. Do I have the qualifications now? The burly man shouted in his heart. Where did this kid come from? He brought a King Kong divine ape to rob. If you had said you had such a helper, I wouldn't have dared to say no. A slap and a kick. The burly man was beaten until he lost his temper, facing a King Kong divine ape that relied on strength. Choosing to admit defeat was the wisest choice. Lin Fei did not hesitate and ransacked the burly man's treasury. In his words, this was a ransom. If you don't want to die, then hand over all your belongings. Watching them leave, the burly man felt like he had a nightmare. His whole body trembled. In an instant, he became a pauper. Damn it, this place's feng shui is not good. Let's move to another place. This king's collection over the years. Human martial artists are such bullies. The burly man decisively chose to move. A pauper. After leaving the mountain, Lin Fei was extremely disdainful. This was a cryptic spirit late-stage demonic beast, yet it was so poor. It didn't even have pure yuan pills, and only had a pile of scrap metal. The only thing it could take out was a large pile of demonic cores. A profound spirit late-stage demonic beast. Not counting the low-level demonic cores, there are 130 profound practitioner demonic cores, 78 mystic adept demonic cores, and 12 profound spirit demonic cores. Robbing demonic beasts is more effective than robbing others. After counting the spoils, Lin Fei squinted his eyes and was very satisfied. His gaze moved and looked at the various mountains in the distance. These demonic beasts on the mountains had become a moving treasury. Time passed by in a flash. In just a short period of time, a day had passed. On the second day, the martial artists in the land of fantasy discovered a strange thing, an unexpected thing. This matter had to be explained from a group of martial artists. This group of martial artists united and prepared to rob powerful demonic beasts in order to obtain demonic cores. This was also the most common method in the land of fantasy. The successful robbery in the past had failed for the first time. At the same time, it aroused the endless anger of the demonic beasts, and their hatred was monstrous. This group of martial artists failed to rob the demonic beasts and lost their lives instead. This daddy was robbed once, and you dare to come and rob again. Do you really think this daddy is easy to bully? The demonic beasts with monstrous hatred attacked, regardless of the consequences, to defend their dignity. A group of unlucky martial artists died tragically in the hands of the demonic beasts. Such a scene happened far more than once. Many martial artists in many places, without exception, suffered the counterattack of the demonic beasts. They realized that even a rabbit would bite when it was cornered. Almost all the martial artists found that those who were a little stronger were all robbed by a black-clothed man. There was a great uproar in the martial artists' circle. Damn, who is so shameless? Fierce man, could it be that they were robbed by the same martial artist? This is too powerful, isn't it? Many martial artists were guessing. In any case, they would never have thought that this was done by a young man with a demonic beast. Under a cliff of a high mountain, a black-robed man flew out from below, and then there was a deafening curse behind him. Bandit, my baby! The black-robed man who came out was, of course, Lin Fei. Cool, it's so cool. Throughout the day, Lin Fei did not stop leading the gold medal fighter King Kong to rob the demonic beasts of the fantasy land. Relying on the speed that he was proud of, Lin Fei's every move was accurate. There were almost no demonic beasts that could stop the two of them working together. They had once encountered a Xian King demonic beast with abnormal strength, and they had almost failed miserably. Fortunately, they managed to escape unscathed. This demonic beast really has a lot of treasures. It even hid so many pure elemental pills, and now it's all mine. Lin Fei beamed with joy. Now, with just the demon cores that I robbed, it should be easy to maintain a top 10 position, right? Xiu 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 xiu. After flying for 30,000 miles. In the sky, 5 ferocious-looking men rushed out and surrounded Lin Fei. Kid, hand over the demon cores, hand over all your valuables. Or don't blame us for being impolite. The leading man in gray threatened. Lin Fei did not know whether to laugh or cry. He had just robbed someone, and in the blink of an eye he was robbed again. Touching his chin, he laughed. Do I look so easy to rob? Big brother, this kid is stupid. There are 5 of us, and he is alone. If we don't rob you, who else would we rob? Another man laughed. How could there be such a stupid person? Chapter 279. P.S. Thank you to Divine Emperor Haotian and Elvis Presley for your monthly votes. It's the end of the month. I'm asking for a monthly vote. Really just one, turning it into infinite motivation. In the land of fantasy, on a lush, towering tree, the sound of wailing was endless. It was sad to smell it. Damn, who said that this kid is stupid and easy to rob? One of them was naked, hanging on the towering tree, looking at the dark blue sky with a bitter face. So his eyes were focused on someone. That person also had a sullen face. That I was just saying, who would know? Crow Mouth. You Crow Mouth. We are doomed because of you this time. These people were the ones who had tried to rob Lin Fei on the way, only to be robbed by Lin Fei instead. They didn't need to do anything, and they became like this. They wanted to cry, but had no tears. Not only were their things robbed, but they were also hung on the towering tree. They would never forget this scene for the rest of their lives. You call me stupid. You are the stupid one. After robbing them, Lin Fei flew tens of thousands of miles away, humming a song. Robbing demon beasts was a high-risk thing. Lin Fei never carried out in the same area. Although he was very strong, there was an unparalleled danger in the land of fantasy. For safety, Lin Fei did not dare to run around. Under the gorgeous colors of the land of fantasy, endless danger was hidden. Maybe the next second, danger would appear on him. Lin Fei had to be vigilant. There was nothing wrong with being careful. As for why Lin Fei didn't kill the first few people, it was because their sin points weren't high, and killing them wouldn't give him much EXP. Moreover, they had opened their mouths to rob him, not to silence him. If they had a lot of sin points, they wouldn't have ended up hanging, but as corpses. There is still more than a day before the end. The demon nucleus is almost enough. Lin Fei thought, now it is time to kill a group of people with high sin value. Now that he encountered such a good opportunity, Lin Fei did not want to miss it. Not to mention that when he came in, he was wearing a mask. Outsiders would not know what happened inside. For the sake of leveling up, I'll have to trouble you. Lin Fei came up with an excuse. His sin value was so high, if he didn't kill him, who else would he kill? Pooh. In the forest, a figure let out a muffled groan and fell from the sky. Your Li Clan is so ruthless. A disciple was filled with resentment. His throat was immediately pierced by a sword. Li Jian's face was cold and arrogant. When the Li family needs to show their strength, you will die even if you don't. You can only blame your poor background. After killing a family disciple and taking his demonic core and treasures, Li Jian darted back into the forest in search of the next family disciple. So far, Li Jian had killed no less than 20 disciples or loose disciples, and almost all of them were killed in one hit. But this was far from his goal. His goal was to kill more than 50. Outsiders could not find out what had happened in the land of dreams. At most, they could only guess. For the big clans, there was no evidence, so it was nothing. At most, it was just a matter of wrangling. In the long run, it would just be a war of words. As for the dead, it was just a matter of that. No one would care about it because the dead were the most worthless. Pa, pa, pa. The same scene happened to Lin Fei. The land of dreams was huge. In order to reduce the danger, many people liked to form teams. The Black Wind team was a team that specialized in hunting martial artists. Hunting demonic beasts for demonic cores was far inferior to hunting human martial artists. As a matter of fact, they encountered Lin Fei, and he attacked him without any explanation. Unexpectedly, the martial artist that they had imagined to be a weak sheep suddenly turned into a huge tiger. scaring them into a panic and prepared to escape. One Lin Fei alone was enough to make them have nowhere to hide, not to mention that he had the help of King Kong. They could barely withstand a single blow from Lin Fei before they were killed with a single blow. 6 people, 5,100 sin points. These people sure have a lot of sin points. After collecting his spoils of war, Lin Fei rushed to the next location. With his senses of a few dozen miles, coupled with the system's guidance, Lin Fei was able to find the right place almost every time. He rarely made any mistakes, and very quickly his sin points exceeded 50,000. If this continues, it will be easy for me to get 10 to 20 million experience points. Lin Fei thought as he flew. Suddenly, Lin Fei stopped and looked in a certain direction. He released his perception strength and his expression darkened. The Li family is so shameless. In the land of dreams, there was an endless forest. Xiao xiao xiao. Zhang Yan's shoulder was injured, and his back was also injured. His white robe was already stained with blood. He desperately tried to escape, but the people behind him were catching up. What should I do? The Li family is catching up. Heaven-covering palm. In midair, a huge black palm covered the sky like a black cloud. It covered a radius of a few hundred feet and slammed down on Zhang Yan. The injured Zhang Yan's earth energy barrier was shattered, and a large number of trees were smashed into pieces. Zhang Yan was smashed into the ground, creating a huge pit. Zhang Yan continued to run. You dare to go against our Li family. This is your fate. The 4 people behind him caught up and sneered at Zhang Yan, who was lying in the pit. Cough, cough, cough. Zhang Yan's face was pale, and he was lying in the pit. Li family is so ruthless. Aren't you afraid of this being spread out? The leader of the group laughed. Kill you and no one will know. You can only blame yourself for coming to the land of dreams. Kill him. Swish. 2 streaks of sword light shot toward Zhang Yan. It was clear that Zhang Yan wanted to kill him. The dignified Li family only knows this kind of method. At the critical moment, a black-robed young man appeared in front of Zhang Yan. The 2 powerful sword lights were shattered like a spring breeze. Kid, who are you? Li Tiansong frowned. He didn't know why, but a bad feeling rose in his heart. Master Shuangmu, is that you? Zhang Yan opened his eyes with difficulty, and a hint of excitement could be seen in his eyes. Eat this pill first, don't talk. The one who blocked the fatal attack was Lin Fei. Although they didn't know each other for long. Since they ran into each other, he might as well help out. Brother Tian, that person seems to be our Li family's wanted criminal. Another person frowned. I remember, he is Lin Fei, the one who injured Liang. He has a mid-grade spirit treasure on him. When the first person mentioned it, the rest of the Li family finally remembered. No wonder the person in front of them looked so familiar. They had all seen his portrait before. Li Tiansong was excited. He actually ran into the Li family's wanted criminal. He couldn't help but imagine that if he brought back Lin Fei's head, he would definitely be valued by the family. Kill him, he must kill him. So you are Lin Fei. What do you mean by 3 heads and 6 arms? Since you ran into me today, it will be your unlucky day. Li Tiansong was beaming with joy. Lin Fei stood up and narrowed his eyes. I am indeed very ordinary, but I am more than enough to deal with your Li family's despicable people. Everyone, let's kill this kid together. In fact, even if Li Tiansong didn't say it, they would still benefit from killing Lin Fei and bringing his head back. Kill. These 4 people were very strong. 3 of them were at the late stage of Mystic Adept, and 1 was at the peak stage. Otherwise, they wouldn't have forced Zhang Yan to flee and almost die. Windstorm. The strong wind howled, and the wind was like knives, covering the entire sky and the wilderness. Wind blades that were like knives fell on their bodies. Even if they had the strength of a Mystic Adept late stage, when faced with a large number of wind blades, not to mention blocking them, they couldn't even protect themselves with their earth energy. Their bodies of flesh and blood couldn't withstand it at all. Screams of agony could be heard, and not even their bones were left. After comprehending that there was softness within hardness and hardness within softness, Lin Fei's wind blades were like indestructible blades. Even a mystic adept expert wouldn't dare to block them head-on. Hiss! Li Tiansong was in a sorry state. In just a moment, he was the only one left in the surroundings. Fear rose from the bottom of his heart. How could he fight like this? We are from the Li family. If you dare to kill us, don't even think about leaving the imperial capital. Li Tiansong bitterly persisted. Lin Fei laughed. You guys only know how to talk. Even if I kill you, the Li family won't know about it. So what if they know? I will kill every single one of you. Besides, I hate being threatened the most. Condense. The wind blades turned into a huge green wind blade and slashed at Li Tiansong's body. Swish, Li Tiansong died. Zhang Yin was dumbfounded and couldn't recover for a long time. At this moment, Lin Fei had become a god in his eyes. Just now he was being chased all the way and almost died in the hands of his enemies. In the end, in front of Lin Fei, they were like chickens and dogs that couldn't withstand a single blow. Brother Lin, you hit it so well. After consuming the elixir, Zhang Yin was able to speak slowly. Lin Fei collected his spoils of war and walked back. Now you understand why I have to wear a mask. After Zhang Yin recovered 10 to 20% of his combat strength, Lin Fei understood the ins and outs of the matter. It turned out that after the Li family's disciples entered the fantasy land, they kept hunting the disciples of the other families. Zhang Yin and Hong Xia-zi accidentally encountered them. As a result, Hong Xia-zi died on the spot. He had barely managed to escape from the encirclement and almost died in their hands. Cough, cough. The Li family is really despicable. Zhang Yan's face turned pale. He angrily said, Brother Lin, thank you for helping me take revenge. I believe Hong Xia-zi will be grateful to you in the underworld. Lin Fei also didn't expect that in just a day, Hong Xia-zi, whom he had only met once, would die just like that. He couldn't help but sigh. The Li family really deserves to die. Lin Fei said, They didn't just target you guys, they targeted all the disciples of the other families. If there are no accidents, the Li family will be the biggest winner this time. It's a pity that we can't kill them all. Each clan was allowed 3 slots. Lin Fei had not expected the Li clan to sneak in so many disciples. He had not expected the Li clan to sneak in so many experts. Brother Lin, I have something that belongs to them. It should be of some use to you. Zhang Yun took out something and passed it to Lin Fei. This is Chapter 280, Dreamland. Swish, swish, swish. Several figures gathered together. In just a short while, there were already 8 people with arrogant faces. The leader was Li Jian. In order to show off their existence, the Li family had arranged for many of their experts to personally go to the Dreamland to show off their strength, especially when the news of the Li family's law enforcement elders' death spread. King-level experts had their eyes on the Li family. Enemies of the Li family had come to seek revenge. It didn't matter if the king-level experts were real or fake. It was undoubtedly a chance for many people. Many people came to watch the show. That was why the Li family had taken the risk and arranged for their disciples to come and kill some of their experts. They knew that they were in the land of dreams and couldn't find any clues. Even if there were rumors, they didn't have any evidence, so they didn't dare to do anything. They could only suffer in silence. We killed 17, 20, 11. They formed groups of 2 or 3 and reported the situation. Where are Li Tiansong and the others? Li Jian frowned and asked. They should be on a mission? A Li family disciple took out a round plate with red dots on it. It was the low-grade spirit treasure made by the Li family. Then let's ignore them. Li Jian's brows relaxed. We will use the last day to kill some more people. This time, we will make their goal fail and give them a heavy blow. Understood? Swish, Swish, swish. The group came quickly and left quickly, disappearing into the forest. Li Jian licked his lips. 38. Just the harvest alone is enough for me to cultivate for a year or two. However, this is far from enough. I need to kill more to get more resources. We have killed so many martial artists this time. The family should give us a lot of rewards when we go back, right? 2 Li family disciples flew one after the other. That's for sure. Maybe we can become inner disciples of the family. There will be more resources, and it will be easier for us to cultivate. The other disciple fantasized. While it is not over yet, let's go and kill a few more people. Otherwise, we will fall behind them and the benefits will be taken by others. The 2 of them spoke one after another excitedly. Why is there wind? One of the Li family disciples frowned and asked. Swish. As soon as he finished speaking, the disciple's head flew off and his body fell to the ground. As for the other Li family disciple, it was obvious that he was hesitating. Soon after, a black shadow fell from the sky, and his body fell down uncontrollably. Falling from such a height, it was impossible for him not to die. 2 more dead. A black shadow flew out. The person who attacked was Lin Fei, who had been chasing them all the way here. After obtaining this auxiliary spirit treasure from Zhang Yin, Lin Fei no longer had to worry about the whereabouts of the Li family's disciples. He could find them by following the red dots on the map. It's your Li family's bad luck this time. With the auxiliary spirit treasure, it was like adding wings to a tiger, the best helper. As long as it was within range, there was no need to worry about not being able to catch up. Just as he was about to leave, Lin Fei stopped what he was doing and looked in one direction. He raised his eyebrows and revealed a puzzled expression. Such a strong, murderous aura, this guy's sin value must be very high, maybe even higher than the previous ones. He's definitely not a good person. Judging from the distance, it shouldn't be far. Why don't we kill them first? Lin Fei quickly made up his mind and turned into a breeze. Damn, that Master Shuang Mu runs really fast. In a forest, there were several corpses on the ground, as well as many corpses of demonic beasts. Except for the neck, there was no second wound on each of the corpses. From the horrified expression on their faces, they should have been killed instantly. The skinny young man was playing with a black knife in his hand. He was playing with the knife. He had a name in the 18 families, Death Knife. Others usually called him Knife. Hey, it seems that he is here. The silver-haired man in a black robe said with surprise, on the palm-sized compass in his hand, a red that appeared in their range. Boom! Knife moved his hand, and the black knife flashed like a black light. A fist-sized hole appeared in a towering tree. How is it possible? We have been chasing for a day and a night, but there is no trace of this Master Shuang Mu. How could he appear now? Knife seemed very surprised. The silver-haired man in a black robe nodded. It shouldn't be wrong. The things that our 18 families make rarely go wrong. It should be that Master Shuang Mu is going somewhere, and we happen to meet him. Knife revealed a devilish smile. Then we can kill him so that we don't have to look for him everywhere. Let's get ready. Lin Fei moved fast. In a blink of an eye, he appeared in the sky above the forest. Good hiding. He flew down from the sky and stood in the forest. The smell of blood assailed his nostrils. How could they die here? Lin Fei moved with a surprised expression on his face. People couldn't help but wonder if this man knew them. At least Knife and the silver-haired man in a black robe had such a thought. This Master Shuang Mu came for the corpses on the ground. He didn't know that they had been exposed. However, he didn't know that the mantis had become the prey of the oriole. Storm! The cyan wind blade mercilessly attacked Knife, who was hiding not far behind him. Dense cyan wind blades suddenly shot out. Except for the area where Lin Fei was, the rest of the area suddenly became a death zone. Oh no, we've been discovered. Both of them were shocked. They all had auxiliary spirit treasures on them that could hide their aura. Even a cryptic spirit expert would not be able to find their location. They had planned to secretly take down Master Shuangmu, but they were attacked first. One blade cut. Knife shouted, and the black knife turned into a big black knife. The 30 feet long knife aura smashed down. The cyan wind blades were shattered. However, they were blocked by the cyan wind blades in the blink of an eye. The black knife aura was also disintegrated. With just one move, Knife was suddenly in danger. Clang, clang, clang. The wind blades that were as hard as Knife aura kept smashing down. Knife was a cryptic spirit middle stage expert. Among the 18 families, he was famous for his ruthlessness. Today he had kicked an iron plate. The ferocious azure wind blades were no weaker than saber lights. This was especially so for Lin Fei's dense quintessence. In terms of might, the azure wind blades he executed were many times stronger. There was simply no way to block them. Boom! The cyan wind blades smashed down. Knife was blown away like a kite with a broken string. His body was badly mutilated. Knife. The silver-haired, black-robed man hesitated for a moment. His eyes were wide open. He did not expect Knife to be defeated so thoroughly and so quickly. Fire Dragon Wild Dance. 100 feet long red dragon exuded a majestic true essence aura. It opened its mouth and bit down at Lin Fei. Knife was defeated in a few rounds. Naturally, he did not dare to hold back. Strong enemy. The blazing aura was like the waves of the sea, continuously spreading out. Crackling sounds could be heard in midair, as if something was being burned. Just this wave alone was unbearable for a martial artist. Wind tornado. The originally ferocious cyan wind blade transformed into a giant cyan tornado. It whizzed over and engulfed the hundreds of feet long fire dragon. Sparks flew everywhere from the powerful fire dragon. It was a tragic sight to behold as it was directly annihilated in the tornado. Concept of wind. The silver-haired, black-robed man was shocked. He opened his mouth and spat out a fiery red bead. It exuded a violent aura. Even from afar, one could feel the heat. Let's see how you block the explosion of the fire thunder bead. At the same time, he flew towards Knife and grabbed it with one hand. Wind beam. The explosive fire elemental energy was like an avalanche, its might extraordinary. The silver-haired, black-robed man felt his heart ache after using a fire thunder bead. He had no choice. The opponent's concept was too strong. It seemed to have reached the greater mastery level. Terrifying, extremely terrifying. Roar! The silver-haired, black-robed man heaved a sigh of relief. Suddenly, a black shadow appeared behind him. Puffed! The silver-haired, black-robed man was sent flying. As for Knife, it did not even have time to react. It was smashed into pieces. Diamond, godly ape! The silver-haired, black-robed man was shocked. His back was drenched in cold sweat. One Lin Fei was scary enough. Now that there was a mystic spirit, great, perfection demonic beast, what was there to fight? It was definitely courting death. One man and one beast were going to die. As soon as this thought appeared, he was sent flying again. While he was lost in thought, the diamond, godly ape came again and sent the silver-haired, black-robed man flying with a rod. The first time could be considered as blocking part of it, but he would not be so lucky the second time. The silver-haired, black-robed man was defeated. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Several golden suns shone brightly. Wherever the light passed, a destructive aura swept through. This was Lin Fei's metal intent. It was extremely terrifying. Kacha, kacha. The silver-haired, black-robed man's arms and legs were smashed. Even his chin was half broken, revealing his white bones. He looked extremely pitiful. This was a mystic spirit late-stage expert. We're done for. The silver-haired, black-robed man spat out this sentence. He was dead. 2 consecutive attacks. The silver-haired, black-robed man could not block it. Facing Lin Fei's destruction sword art, he had no choice but to die. Damn it, the sword art is too strong. I can't control it. Lin Fei landed. That explosion just now only delayed him for a moment. To Lin Fei, it was really not that powerful because he could already use the windshield. It seems like the two of them know me. Lin Fei was puzzled. If he regretted killing them, he might as well capture them first. After checking the corpses and the items on the ground, Lin Fei found something as he wished. It was a black plate with 3 words carved on it, 18 families. On the back, there was a name, Wang Quan. Lin Fei came to a realization. So they're from the 18 families. No wonder they recognized me and wanted to ambush me. The appearance of the 18 families had angered Lin Fei. However, the 18 families sent people to kill him just because he killed 2 of them? They really don't know what's good for them. If Lin Fei had only been interested and curious before, he was now furious at the 18 great clans. After settling this matter, I will definitely cause a huge commotion for the 18 families. Lin Fan collected the spoils of war on the ground. He had gained quite a lot, especially the pure essence pills, which amounted to about 200,000 to 300,000. At the same time, he also obtained 2 fiery red beads. Fire lightning bead. The power of the explosion just now was comparable to a mystic, great perfection stage explosion. It was comparable to his compressed water fire lotus. This item is not bad. I will give it to the 18 families to try. After keeping the items, Lin Fei found another item. It was a compass-like item, just like what the Li family used. After checking it, he understood its use. He finally understood how they knew he was coming. It turned out to be like this. After killing 2 people from the 18 families, Lin Fei didn't stop and ran towards the Li family's disciples. What's going on? Why did our disciples leave the area? A Li family's disciple asked Li Jian. Ever since they reunited, Li Jian had been with the Li family's disciples. The dreamland was huge. Other than them, no one else came in. After killing so many people, there were only a few left. Li Jian took the plate and couldn't help but frown. As expected, something was wrong. What's going on? Where did they go? The Li family's disciple shook his head, indicating that he didn't know. Look, it looks like our clansmen are coming. The Li family's disciple pointed at the red dot. Li Jian said, when we get here, we'll ask them where they went. This time, there were a total of 23 Li family's disciples. Most of them were mystic, great perfection stage experts. It was more than enough to deal with the people inside. The red dot got closer and closer. When they saw a black figure coming over, Li Jian and the rest stopped. It doesn't look like one of us. A Li family's disciples' eyes lit up. Sky supporting pillar. One of the Li family's disciples snorted. Boundless true essence gathered into a giant rod and smashed it down. Obviously, he wanted to probe the other party's background. Walala! Cyan wind blades came out one after another, cutting the Zhanyuan stick into pieces. However, the cyan wind blades did not stop there. They continued to sweep over, and the wind was filled with killing intent. The Li family's disciple didn't expect the other party to attack so quickly, especially when the wind blades were tens of feet away. They appeared in front of them in a breath's time. Apart from a few who reacted quickly, many of the Li family's disciples were injured or killed. Who are you? Li Jian's expression was solemn. Flames appeared around him and moved back and forth. Isn't your Li family looking for me? Now that I'm here, you can't recognize me. Haha. Lin Fei appeared not far from them. Li Jian gritted his teeth. So it's you, Lin Fei. Lin Fei ignored the other party's anger. So many Li family's disciples. You are one of the strongest. Unfortunately, you will die here today. Oh, I forgot to tell you that out of all the Li family's disciples, only you are left. Li Jian's heart sank. His eyes were like lightning, filled with killing intent. Seems like you want to fight with our Li family. Lin Fei shook his head. I don't want to fight with Li family. I just want to kill some disciples to vent my anger. What do you think? Damn it. Die. A Li family's disciple jumped out from behind Li Jian. With a long cry, a lifelike eagle soared through the sky and grabbed at Lin Fei. Bang! Chapter 281. In the gladiatorial arena of the Tianhai dynasty, it was the last day of the competition for the position of the chief merchant, and the outcome was about to be decided. In the next 10 years, the outcome would be decided today. Those who managed to enter the top 10 would continue to develop, their families would continue to grow stronger, and their influence would continue to expand. As for those who dropped out of the position, their growth would continue to slow down. There shouldn't be any big changes to the top 10 families this year. The last one, the Wen family, has a high chance of losing their position. The Wen family? They were lucky last time, but they won't be so lucky this time. In the gladiatorial arena, the families were discussing among themselves. In the area where the Wen family was, there weren't many people around, and they seemed to know that the Wen family would lose their position. The position of the top 10 chief merchant in the Tianhai dynasty could be said to have the right to develop, and the redistribution of interests was very important to a family. If they lost their position, they would naturally not be valued. Great elder, let's leave it to fate. An elder of the Wen family did not look good, and he lowered his voice as if he was afraid that others would hear. After Zhang Yun came out, the Wen family was in a bad mood. The land of illusion was more dangerous than they had imagined. Zhang Yan's strength was not weak, and it was indeed beyond their imagination that he was thrown out so quickly. Great elder Wen Lei squinted his eyes. He indeed, let's leave it to fate. The elders and deacons did not notice that their great elder's tone was not pessimistic, but there was a hint of joy in it. Elder Wen Lei, this elder thought you wouldn't come this time. Not far away, a middle-aged man walked over with a few guards. The people of the Wen family immediately looked bad, as if there was some conflict and hatred between them. Of course, I have to come personally, Wen Lei said with a smile, but you guys seem to be very confident this time. With Elder Lei's help, if our Jin family doesn't make any mistakes this time, we should be able to get one of the positions. The middle-aged man's face was full of joy, as if it was written on his face that he was in a good mood. Those who did not know what was going on would mistakenly think that the two were friends, chatting so happily. Little did they know that the Wen family and the Jin family had always been enemies. The reason was simple. The position of the Jin clan was now occupied by the Wen clan. It could be said that the Jin clan's loss of qualifications was largely due to the Wen clan. This time, the Jin family had arranged for 3 experts. If there were no accidents, they would be able to take one of the positions. After knowing that the Wen clan had lost 2 warriors, the elder of the Jin clan naturally wanted to mock the Wen clan in order to improve his position. If the Jin clan lost their position as the chief merchant, there would be a lot of restrictions on their development in the next 10 years. The Wen clan would definitely not be able to afford it. The faces of the elders and deacons of the Wen clan darkened. Their eyes were practically spitting fire. If it wasn't for the presence of First Elder Wen Lei, they would have already started fighting. This elder congratulates you. Grand Elder Wen Lei was calm, and no anger could be seen on his face. Thank you for your kind words. Elder Jin Zhong had brought his guards here to trample on the Wen family's face, but Wen Lei hadn't said a word or refuted him. This time he immediately lost interest, feeling that it was extremely boring. He left with his guards, feeling extremely depressed. That's strange. Since when did Wen Lei become so good-tempered? Could it be that the Wen clan has some secret trump card? They were always in a hurry in the past. Elder Jin Zhong, who had returned, was filled with questions. He could not understand them, no matter how he thought about them. Elder, the Jin clan has gone too far. The elders were furious. Grand Elder Wen Lei looked at them and reprimanded them. You're all elders and deacons. You've seen all kinds of storms. Why do you have to make things difficult for a villain? When the results are out, it will be clear who won and who lost." The elders looked at one another in dismay. Was this possible? It's about to end. An hour later, the once-in-a-decade fight for the chief merchant position had ended just like that. Some were excited, and some were crying. The teleportation portal opened, and everyone began to wait. After a few breaths, the teleportation portal was still empty. There wasn't a single person in sight. Everyone was confused. Could it be that all the disciples of their clan were dead? A huge rock hung in their hearts. "He's out." When the first person came out, everyone heaved a sigh of relief. Just as they heaved a sigh of relief, more people came out one after another. They immediately realized that there was something wrong with the dreamland. Only a few of the hundreds of participants had come out. It would be strange if there was nothing wrong. How could this be? Where are they? Where did they go? Many people from the clans began to lose their composure. Their eyes wandered, staring at the teleportation portal. Li Feng was in a good mood. "Li Jian has made a great contribution this time. It seems that I was right to judge him." It had been a while since the teleportation portal opened, but no one came out. Li Feng understood that the Li clan's operation this time was perfect. Half an hour later, everyone's mood was in a mess. Over 100 martial artists had entered, but less than 20 had come out. There was an 80% chance that they were trapped in the dreamland. Grand Elder Wen Lei's face was filled with worry. The situation seemed to be more complicated than they had imagined. "Elder Lei, will that Master Shuang Mu?" The elders began to worry. Zhang Yin had lost the qualification and did not have many demon cores. Hong Xiaozi had died in the dreamland. Now, only Master Shuang Mu was left, which indeed worried them. Wait. One word. Half an hour later, there were less than 20 martial artists. This time they were really panicking. Especially Li Feng. His heart was covered with a layer of shadow. Where is he? Where is Li Jian? Where did he go? Why isn't he out yet? The person in charge of the Li clan this time was not Li Feng, but an elder of the Li clan. "Li Feng, you are the one who arranged this. What do you say?" A cold and dignified voice was directed at Li Feng. Li Feng's forehead was covered with cold sweat. He explained, "Elder Bing, let's wait for a while. Maybe Li Jian and the others will come out." Li Feng did not know why, but he was not confident in this reason. "Humph! If Li Jian and the others still don't come out, how are you going to explain it when you return?" Elder Li Bing sneered, cursing in his heart. Li Feng scolded Elder Li Bing for being shameless. Li Jian hadn't come out yet, but he was ready to make him the scapegoat. Who asked him to be more powerful than him? Li Jian, you mustn't die. Otherwise, we're really done for this time." The incident in the demonic beast mountain range had already caused him to be scolded by the clan. If something like this were to happen again today, Li Feng would be afraid. Someone else came out. An hour later, it was close to the limit of the teleportation gate. Normally, if someone couldn't come out, it meant that something had happened to them in the dreamland. If something had happened, it meant that they were dead. Naturally, they wouldn't be able to come out. A black-robed man wearing a mask came out, causing a lot of discussion. Which clan is he from? He seems to be from the one clan. I remember clearly that he's wearing a mask. I remember it too. He's from the Wen clan. After the black-robed man came out, he walked to the Wen clan. However, halfway through the journey, a voice suddenly rang out. A person stood in front of the black-robed man. "Why do you have such a strong killing intent? Did you kill them?" In an hour, nearly 100 people had died in the dreamland. Some clans were already on the verge of erupting. When they saw that the person who came out was not from their clan, they couldn't control their emotions. The person who came out was Lin Fei. "Uncle, your people didn't come out, so you're blaming me for killing them? What kind of logic is that?" The person who jumped out was Elder Jin Zhong, who had a grudge against the Wen clan. He was originally confident that he would succeed, but the disciples of the Jin clan still hadn't come out. Elder Jin Jong was restless. When he saw the people of the Wen clan coming out, he could clearly see the mockery from the Wen clan. It was like a slap to his face, stinging and painful. Elder Jin Jong's face was like coal. I highly suspect that you killed them. Also, no one is wearing a mask. Why are you the only one wearing a mask? Is there something shameful? Elder Jin, who do you think you are? Who are you to stop the people of the Wen clan? Grand Elder Wen Lei, who hadn't lost his temper, glared at him. He actually cursed in front of everyone. As his name suggested, his temper flared up. Jin Jong said angrily, "Do you think what I said makes sense? There's still a murderous aura on this person. Perhaps our people were killed by him. If he didn't do something shameful, why would he wear a mask?" Originally, the elders of the clan were all guessing why their disciples didn't come out and who killed them. Hearing Elder Jin Jong's words, they subconsciously thought about it. Especially since the person was wearing a mask, they couldn't help but think along the lines of his words. Our Wang clan's disciples still haven't come out. This person has a strong murderous aura, and he's wearing a mask. If it's not a guilty conscience, then what is it? Take off the mask. That's right, take off the mask. Jin Jong was secretly pleased. Let's see how your Wen clan will solve this. Successfully attracting everyone's attention, Jin Jong didn't believe that they would continue fighting with the others. Wen Lei was the grand elder of the Wen clan. Facing so many families, it was impossible for him to continue being domineering. He couldn't help but hate Jin Jong for coming up with such an idea. The people of the Wen clan wouldn't do such things. Our Wen clan guarantees this. Grand Elder Wen Lei said in a low voice. What's the use of a guarantee? Take off the mask. None of them were convinced. Elder Wen Lei, since they're willing to watch, let them watch. It's not a big deal. Lin Fei suddenly said. Grand Elder Wen Lei had once heard that Grandmaster Shuang Mu had an enemy in the capital, which was why he wore a mask. He didn't expect someone as despicable as Jin Jong to jump out. If you're unwilling, then forget it. Lin Fei shook his head. It's fine. Chapter 282. What should you do? His loud voice was directed at the other party. Lin Fei was the kind of person who wouldn't do anything unless provoked. But once provoked, he wouldn't rest until he'd pluck a hair off of you. What are you doing and saying? Do you think you have the right to talk to an elder of the Jin family? A disciple behind Elder Jin Jong shouted unhappily, Get out of my way! With a loud roar, the Jin family disciple who'd spoken turned into a black streak as he was kicked away. He fell flat on his face. Elder Jin, what should you do? Lin Fei pressed again, his sharp eyes blasting at Elder Jin Jong as if he'd just done something insignificant. Thud! Elder Jin Jong actually felt a thick, murderous intent under that sharp gaze. For some reason, he felt a chill and took a step back. I'm an elder of the Jin family. What right do you have to demand anything from me? This time, Elder Golden Bell found a suitable sentence. I'm an elder of the Jin family. Who are you? You think you're worthy to talk to me? Elder Jin Jong comforted himself with that. At the same time, he was shocked. He was a cryptic spirit late-stage cultivator, but he couldn't see how Yi Fuqian had done it. Seeing his own disciple sent flying, he was filled with rage. The others were just as shocked. The disciple wasn't strong, only at the mystic master level. He couldn't even take a single blow from the other party, and was sent flying right in front of Elder Jin Jong. Who on earth was this person? Arrogant, truly arrogant. Li Feng of the Li family couldn't help but frown. Why did that action just now give me a familiar feeling? Could it be that I've seen this person before? But why don't I remember? Li Feng was conflicted. Lin Fei laughed with disdain. So this is an elder of the Jin family. You only know how to bully ordinary people. Even I dared to take off my mask, and you didn't dare do anything. What right do you have to accuse me of killing someone? Of your status? Some who were dissatisfied with the Jin family cheered inwardly. Great Elder Wenlei also saw this and nodded to himself. It's normal for a man of character to be a little arrogant. Jin Zhong was so embarrassed by a young man. How dare you? This elder thinks that you are the culprit who killed our Jin family's disciple. Jin Zhong shouted angrily, grabbing out with a single hand. When you fall into this elder's hands, I won't be afraid that you won't speak the truth. Elder Jin Zhong was so angry that he became muddle-headed. He found an extremely reluctant excuse. No matter what, he had to take down the other party first. As for everything else was negotiable. Many shook their heads. Since when would the elders of the Jin clan cause trouble for no reason? Why would they make things difficult for a cultivator? It was all because this person was invited by the Wen clan. Humph! You dare to make a move in the martial arena? In the air, there was a muffled groan. Elder Jin Zhong, who had attacked, took 3 steps back, fear on his face. Unknowingly, a gray-robed old man had appeared in front of them. He had the strength of mystic spirit, Great Circle. At this moment, his face was expressionless, and the scene was silent. The arena was overseen by experts. In the fighting arena, as long as the overseeing expert made a move, no one would dare to continue, unless they wanted to die in the fighting arena. Take off your mask, the gray-robed old man said to Lin Fei expressionlessly. Lin Fei did not want to cause any trouble. He nodded to show that he understood and took off his mask. The moment the mask was removed, a commotion broke out. Elder Jin Zhong, you've really wronged him this time. He's clearly disfigured. That's why he's wearing a mask. He doesn't want to scare others. After Lin Fei took off his mask, the scars on his face were revealed. It was a hideous and horrifying sight. Everyone could not help but wonder what kind of person had done this to him. Everyone understood what was going on when he attacked out of rage. How could this be? Jin Zhong's face was full of disappointment. The other party's face was full of scars. With his strength, he could see clearly that the scars on the other party's face were left a long time ago, and not recently. Moreover, who would leave scars on their face because they wanted to make things difficult for themselves? Are you satisfied now? Lin Fei put on his mask. He hated Elder Jin Zhong to the core. He had wasted 500 points for nothing. No matter what, he had to get back at the other party. Then where did your killing intent come from? And the smell of blood? Jin Zhong knew that he had lost face today. He had to continue and try to find out the problem from Zhang Xian. Lin Fei said, Of course it's from hunting demon beasts. Do I have to report all of this to you? I really don't understand how you cultivated to this realm. You should really go back to the furnace and reform yourself. Jin Zhong was so angry that he almost vomited blood. Zhang Xian was too eloquent. You said that I killed demon beasts, so I killed them. If you have the ability, hand over the points. Jin Zhong knew that his words could not withstand the test. For the sake of his face, he still had to give it a try. Maybe he would gain something and save some face. Lin Fei smiled. You won't shed a tear until you see the coffin. I'll show you. He turned around and strode to the place where the points were tabulated. The highest score of the less than 20 martial artists before was only 1,000 points. Most of them were low-rank demon beasts with profound realm demon cores. As for the ones above, the number was much smaller. Lin Fei waved his hand. Clatter, clatter. A large pile of demon cores fell on the big table and rolled. So many demon cores. I see a mystic master demon core. That's nothing. Do you see that red one? It's clearly a mystic spirit demon core. There were no less than 300 or 400 demon cores. Everyone gasped. As for the one with the highest score of more than 1,000 points, he was also dumbfounded at this time, especially among these demon cores. Many of them were profound realm and mystic master realm demon cores. There were also a few mystic spirit demon cores. Jin Zhong was stunned. His face was burning with pain. He felt that he had been slapped on the left side of his face. Now he stretched out his right face, and the other party slapped him. He regretted it. He began to regret it. If he knew this would happen, Jin Jong would not stand up. This was simply lifting a stone to smash his own foot. In the end, he was the one who suffered. The elders of the Win family all smiled. They understood that this time the Win family had a big turnaround. 5,632 points. After the number came out, it was a mess. The highest score was more than 1,000 points. Now it suddenly rushed to more than 5,000 points, a position that they needed to look up to. Such an unexpected scene made everyone look at the Win family began to become friendly. If there was no accident, the biggest winner this time would be the Win family. Lin Fei muttered in his heart, "It's a loss. It's really a loss. If I knew earlier, I would have come out a little less. Now I'm high profile again. Elder Jean, what do you say now?" Lin Fei looked at Elder Jin Jong and said in a tone that was not polite at all. Jin Jong could already feel the dissatisfaction of the old man in gray on him. He knew that if he did not express it, he might be the one who would be unlucky when he returned to the Jin family. "I'm sorry, sir. I was impulsive just now." After saying such a sentence, Jin Jong's whole body was weak. He was a dignified elder. To say such a sentence to a mystic master martial artist, he didn't know where his face was lost. How could he face others in the future? He couldn't wait to open a hole in the ground, jump down directly, and not come out to see people. Lin Fei said with a smile, "Some people are self-righteous and like to put everything on others. In the end, they are still the unlucky ones. Elder Jin, you have to remember this." Jin Jong's face darkened even more. How could you point out names like this? The veins on his forehead bulged, and his anger continued to rise. Lin Fei would trample on people to the end. As for revenge, what a joke. If he really wanted revenge, he did not mind killing them directly. There was no difference between killing one more person and one less person. In the end, Jin Jong could not say a word. This matter was not right. Half an hour later, no more martial artists came out of the land of dreams. Everyone's expression was different. This year, there was a huge change in the situation of the imperial capital. If this result was spread outside, it would probably cause a great uproar. Among them, the biggest dark horse, the Win family, actually took the first position. It made people wonder if the sun rose from the west. What was a salted fish turning over and reversing the situation? Similarly, the person called Master Shuangmu was also remembered. After the announcement, Lin Fei said a few words to Elder Wenlei and was ready to leave. At the gate, a figure stood in front of him. "Master Shuangmu, do we know each other?" Li Feng stood in front of Lin Fei and asked in a questioning tone, "This is my first time in the imperial capital. I don't understand why you said that, sir." Lin Fei said seriously, "I think you must have recognized the wrong person." Li Feng still had doubts, but he did not continue to ask. "Then it seems that there is a mistake." Looking at the other person's back, Li Feng still frowned. Did I really recognize the wrong person? After leaving the martial arena, the sun was bright and it was very comfortable. Fortunately, I have the system's help. Otherwise, I would have been exposed today. Lin Fei's heart sank. Li Feng of the Li family must be paying attention to me. I can't stay in the imperial capital for long. In the land of dreams, Lin Fei killed all the disciples of the Li family. He believed that with the huge resources of the Li family, they would soon react and target him. Tonight, I will visit the Li family. Then, I will leave the imperial capital and the Wen family. Lin Fei had not forgotten about the mysterious sky spiritual treasure, especially from their mouths. He learned more about the situation. In particular, he obtained the map of the Li family's residence, which clearly marked the Li family's location. It could be said that with this map, Lin Fei had the idea of visiting the Li family at night. With the map, he had a better understanding of the Li family's territory and did not need to worry about anything. especially with his speed. Even King Kong could not catch up with him. Unless it was a king-level expert, there was really nothing to worry about. Chapter 283. As soon as the position of the head merchant was confirmed, the entire capital went crazy. The result was beyond everyone's imagination. The first position of the head merchant usually belonged to the few families in the past. No one would have thought that the Win family would get it this time. It was like a pie falling from the sky. Among them, the Li family was a dark horse. The Li family, which had a king-level warrior, surprisingly lost the position this time. None of the 3 warriors they had sent had returned, which was shocking. For the Li family, which had a king-level warrior, the head merchant position was not affected too much because they had a king-level warrior. As for the other families, they were not as lucky as the Li family. You said that the master Shuang Mu invited by the Wen family might be the same Lin Fei who injured Li Yang and stole the metal intent realm? Outside the arena, Li Bing said, word by word, looking at Li Feng. Facing elder Li Bing's doubtful face, Li Feng had to continue. If he could, he wouldn't mind slapping elder Li Bing's face. Unfortunately, Li Feng didn't dare. Elder Li Bing was stronger than him in terms of status, strength, and influence. At the same time, he had a large network of connections. No matter what, he couldn't beat him unless he became a king-level warrior one day. Was that possible? Impossible, unless the sun rose from the west. I do doubt it. The Lin family has 2 intent realms. One is the metal intent realm, and the other is the wind intent realm. Elder Jin Zhong was at the cryptic spirit realm, but he couldn't react in time. The opponent is only at the dark master realm. How many people like him can you find? Li Feng continued to speculate. Li Bing looked at him coldly. Do you think I will believe you? Don't try to fool a 3-year-old. Lin Fei is being hunted down in the demonic beast mountain range. Even if he's still alive, do you think he'll come to the imperial capital? Provoke the Li family? Only someone like you would dare to say such nonsense. Li Feng's face turned red. Elder Bing, as long as you check where this Grandmaster Shuang Mu appeared from, you will definitely find some clues. I can guarantee that. Li Bing didn't believe Li Feng's words at all. Between the 2 of them, one was a direct descendant and the other was a branch descendant. They had always been fighting each other. Now that something big had happened, of course, he wouldn't give Li Feng a chance to redeem himself. Not to mention, Lin Fei had stolen the concept of metal. Unless he had eaten a leopard's gall, he wouldn't dare to take even half a step into the imperial capital. I'm in charge here. It's not your turn to tell me what to do and what not to do. You'd better think about how to explain this matter. After saying that, Li Bing left with a dark face. The Li family had lost the position of one of the top 10 general merchants. Li Bing had a headache and didn't know how to explain it. Especially since so many disciples of the Li family had died, it was no different than suffering in silence. Looking at Li Bing's back, Li Feng cursed inwardly, "You bastard! It's obvious that you want me to be the scapegoat. How can you say it in such a dignified way? You're a jerk. When we find out that Grandmaster Shuangmu is Lin Fei, I'll see how you face the anger of the patriarch." Coming out of the arena, Lin Fei walked along the street and returned to the Wen family. After a short rest, he personally visited the Li family in the evening. Not long after he came out, walking on the street, Lin Fei was stopped by 2 men in black. "Your Excellency is Grandmaster Shuangmu, right?" One of the men in black said expressionlessly. Lin Fei was vigilant. "I am Grandmaster Shuangmu, and you are." From the moment the 2 of them appeared, Lin Fei could tell that they were not simple. They were not people that ordinary people could possess. Their gazes were filled with disdain. "Our master wants to see you." Lin Fei refused without hesitation. "I'm not going. I don't know your master." From the bottom of his heart, Lin Fei didn't like this kind of people who wanted to see him. Did they really think they were the king? If they had the ability, they could come out by themselves. Disbelief flashed in the eyes of the two men in black. Did this Grandmaster Shuang Mu know the power of their master? Countless people wanted to be favored by their master and become his dog. In the end, this kid actually rejected it flatly. They almost doubted whether they had heard it wrong. How could there be such a person? Didn't he know that if he was valued by his master, even if he couldn't soar to the sky, his value would double in the future? Even if he was a dog, it was better than a mediocre life. Boy, do you know what you're doing? Lin Fei said with a smile, Of course I know. Isn't it just that your bullshit master wants to see me? If he really wants to see me, then come in person. Don't hide behind him. Do you really think you're the king? The two men were furious. Insulting the master, you're courting death. The two men in black were furious. One of them turned his palm into a fist and punched at Lin Fei's chest like a black shadow. Obviously, he wanted to teach Lin Fei a lesson. Crack! Lin Fei didn't move at all. He grabbed the two fists with his left and right hands and exerted force downward. Suddenly, there was a sound of bones breaking. Then he threw them out. Get lost! The two men flew into the air and were thrown out by Lin Fei as if they were sandbags. Despicable people are everywhere. After the two men in black flew out, they fell on the ground and rolled on the ground. They got up and looked over with hatred. Their eyes were filled with fear. They looked at each other and left with hatred. In the luxurious golden carriage, the third prince, Ing Xiaotian, was sitting in front of a tea set, sipping fragrant tea. Your Highness, it's a mess. The two men in black knelt in the carriage, not daring to make a sound. You did it. His calm voice caused their hearts to beat faster, and a wave of fear spread out from their hearts. We did it. Master Shuangmu is suspected to be a body refining martial artist. Ing Xiaotian took a sip of fragrant tea. His every movement was elegant and profound. This Grandmaster Shuangmu is quite interesting. He actually dared to refuse this prince. Who knows how many people have used all sorts of methods just to meet him, but he actually gave up. The foreheads of the two men in black were full of cold sweat, because they knew that when the third prince was quiet, it meant that he was angry. You did something wrong, but you still dare to come back. You're just trash. What's the use of keeping you? Ing Xiaotian raised his fair fingers and made a grabbing motion in the air. The two of them groaned and fell to the ground. No one has ever been able to refuse this prince's recruitment. Those who refuse this prince will die. Make the arrangements. This prince doesn't want to see this person again. In the Wen family, when Lin Fei came back, the people of the Wen clan looked at him with friendly gazes. There was no need to say how polite they were. As soon as the result of the arena came out, they immediately came back to report. As soon as Lin Fei came back, the Wen family already knew the result. At this time, they all looked at Lin Fei with admiration. Because of Master Shuangmu's help, their family could keep their position, turn over a new leaf, and reverse the situation. In the next 10 years, they didn't need to worry about anything. I knew that Master Shuangmu could do it. He walked into the small yard. Lin Fei saw Wen Ruxue and Zhang Yin waiting for him in the yard. Your Wen family is too enthusiastic. Along the way, Lin Fei felt that he had become a national protected animal. People kept paying attention to him, and even many girls kept sending him radio waves. Wen Ruxue burst into laughter, which was extraordinarily beautiful. That's because Master Shuangmu helped the Wen family a lot. Zhang Yan's face recovered a lot, and he gave a thumbs up. Master Shuangmu is really amazing. This wine was specially prepared for you, Master Shuangmu. When Ruxue knew about the situation, and her face was full of disbelief. When an elder came back and confirmed that everything was true, when Ruxue felt like she was dreaming. Good wine, I like it. Good wine was indeed good wine. Lin Fei drank a lot, and a thick true essence was in his body, so he wasn't too drunk. Zhang Yin left very early. in the yard when Rushua was left alone. Master Shuangmu, can I ask you a question? When Rushua's pretty face was red, and she was exceptionally attractive, especially her eyes, which were extremely charming. She looked at Lin Fei and kissed his red lips. Lin Fei drank a mouthful of wine. Miss Wen, you are so smart. Is there anything that you can't guess? I am very curious. Why did you help our Wen family? This question had been in Wen Rushua's heart for a long time. Lin Fei smiled. Can I not say it? No. Then how about I tell you tomorrow? Let's drink today. Then it's a deal. Drinking like this with a beautiful woman was a different experience. At night, Lin Fei rejected the Wen family's banquet and came up with an excuse that he needed to recover from his injuries. As for the 1,000,000 pure yuan pills, he accepted it without hesitation. 1,000,000 pure yuan pills was a huge sum. Including the pure yuan pills that he got from killing people, Lin Fei now had no less than 8,000,000 pure yuan pills on him. Other than the big families and sects, no martial artist of this level would have such wealth. Midnight, a black shadow came out of the Wen family and disappeared into the night. Finally, I can relax. After completing Zhang Wen's request, Lin Fei felt relaxed. He had never felt so relaxed before. Previously, when he was under pressure, he felt like he couldn't think straight. Now that the stone in his heart had been lifted, everything was fine. Right now, his thoughts were all clear. When he came out of the Wen family, he was surrounded by darkness. He looked at a place, and a cold gleam flashed in his eyes. If I do good deeds, I will be watched. I really can't be a good person. Near the Wen family, there were people watching the main gate of the Wen family and even the back gate. If not for his excellent movement technique, he might have been discovered. Facing these spies, Lin Fei twitched his mouth. He would not do anything and let them continue to watch. However, just as he was about to leave, Lin Fei sensed something infuriating. In a loft near the main street of the Wen family. What are you 18 families doing? Why is Master Shuangmu not dead yet? Lei Wei was in a bad mood in the loft, and he roared. When he saw someone return and heard that the Wan family had taken first place, Lei Wei almost fainted from anger. Is this the 18 families? Guaranteed to be safe? Bullshit, bullshit. Opposite Lei Wei sat 2 middle-aged men, and they did not look too good. Young Master Lei, are you sure that Master Shuangmu is as weak as you said? Du Shan asked with a sullen face. In order to avenge King Fei Ying and Yu Guang, they did not expect to suffer such a big setback. Lei Wei was guilty. In order to save the damsel in distress, he had won Wen Rushua's favor. But when he heard the 18 families, he was frightened and embarrassed. Later, he was not satisfied, and especially after seeing Wen Rushua's actions, he was even more unhappy. So he secretly found the 18 families and sold the information. He should not be strong, just a little bit stronger than King Fei Ying and the others. Humph. What do you mean by a little bit stronger? Du Shan sneered. If not for the inaccurate information you provided, how could the experts we arranged not return? Lei Wei was also angry. You 18 families keep saying that you want to kill Master Shuangmu and boast about how strong you are. Look at you now. He is happy in the Wen family. Is this the strength you are talking about? Du Shan, young Master Lei, we should think about this at length. Xiao Dao and Wang Quan are both dead. We need to go back to the headquarters of the 18 families and report the situation. At that time, Master Shuangmu will definitely die. The other middle-aged man who had been silent finally spoke. His voice was very heavy, and it made people's hearts tremble. No wonder the people of the 18 families came to kill me. So that's what happened. Hearing such an outrageous thing, Lin Fei did not know whether to laugh or cry. If he did not see it with his own eyes, he would think that the scene in front of him was real. When he was in the land of dreams, Lin Fei had doubts in his heart about who had betrayed him. After hearing Lei Wei's words, all his doubts were cleared. There was a traitor. Lin Fei remembered clearly what had happened on the official road. Except for the people of the Win family, it seemed like no one else knew about that scene. Unless someone saw it occasionally, but the chances were not high. Lin Fei had always thought that someone in the Wen family had leaked the secret, which led to the 18 families coming to kill him. He did not expect that it was Lei Wei who had leaked the secret. The headquarters of the 18 families. Lin Fei took note of it. Originally, he was going to kill his way in. After hearing about the headquarters of the 18 families, an idea popped up in Lin Fei's mind, casting a long line to catch a big fish. As for the 18 families, Lin Fei was quite angry. He had always wanted to find trouble with the 18 families. After hearing about it, he changed his mind at the last minute. He could go to the Li family again, but the headquarters of the 18 families might not be that easy to find. In the imperial city, there were countless news about the 18 families. The only thing he did not know was where the headquarters of the 18 families were. There were even people who offered a high price for it. Unfortunately, he had not found anything until now. In the attic, it was soon quiet. Lei Wei sneaked out from the back door and quickly flashed into a small alley. It seemed that he was very clear about the situation in this area. Chapter 284. Damn Master Shuangmu. Even this can't kill him. In the alley, Lei Wei was cursing and cursing. His temper was extremely bad. No, this young master must kill that brat. If the 18 clans can't do it, I can find someone else. There must be someone who can kill him. No matter what, this brat must die. Why is he stronger than this young master? Why did he win over Miss Win? Why? Because I am stronger than you. A sudden sound appeared in the alley. Who? A black shadow flashed past. Thud! Lei Wei's protective aura rippled and was kicked to pieces. He crashed heavily against the hard wall, causing rubble to fall. Bang! Kacha, kacha! Before Lei Wei could understand what was happening, a mountain appeared on his body, causing him to be unable to breathe. Intense pain spread throughout his body. It's you? A look of fear flashed across Lei Wei's face. What? Didn't you just say you want to kill me? A cold smile hung on Lin Fei's face as he stepped on Lei Wei's body, crushing countless bones. Why are you here? What do you want? This young master is the young master of the Lei family. If you dare to touch this young master, the Lei family will not let you off. A sense of fear spread from his heart. Lei Wei did not expect that such a secretive matter would be discovered by the opponent, especially when he followed him all the way to the alley without knowing. Lin Fei curled his lips. You young masters love to say such things. Unfortunately, this old man does not like it. I saved your life out of kindness, but you repaid my kindness with enmity and wanted to find the 18 families to kill me. Now, I will kill you first, then find the 18 families to settle the score. Don't kill me, don't kill me. I am the young master of the Lei family. You cannot kill me. Lei Wei was terrified. His body trembled and struggled. How could Lin Fei let such a despicable person go? Even if it was the emperor, he would kill him without hesitation. Bang! Lin Fei stepped on Lei Wei's body. The force of 10,000 jin was like a mountain. Lei Wei screamed and exploded like a watermelon. This is the result of being a despicable person. Lin Fei's thoughts cleared up. After collecting the spoils of war, Lin Fei left the alleyway and burned the corpses. In the attic. Are we really going to the headquarters? Dushan asked. I have no choice but to go. Since such a big thing has happened, I have to give the higher-ups an explanation. Master Shuang, Mu must have something to do with the changes in the land of dreams. The middle-aged man said word by word. When are we leaving? The middle-aged man stood up. Let's go. All right. The two of them quietly left the attic and followed the alleys of the imperial capital. They quickly left the imperial capital and appeared outside the outer city. Unbeknownst to him, there was someone tailing him. The movement skills of these two are pretty good. Lin Fei transformed into a breeze, and leisurely followed behind. Other than king-class experts, no one else could sense that someone was following them. After traveling a few hundred li, the middle-aged man who had been flying stopped. His sharp eyes looked behind him, and a trace of doubt flashed in his eyes. "Uncle Chung, what happened? I don't know why, but I feel that something is wrong." Li Cheng stopped. Du Shan was shocked. "It can't be. The two of us are late cryptic class experts. Why would anyone follow us? Our base in the imperial capital has never been exposed." Li Cheng said, "Maybe I'm overthinking." The two of them paused for a moment and then flew out again. This time they were more careful than before, and they would turn around from time to time. A day later, the two of them confirmed that no one was following them. They appeared in a desert. This was the desert of death of the Tianhai dynasty. Strong winds blew all year round, and sand and stones flew everywhere. Few creatures could survive in the desert. The two of them entered the desert. Not long after, Lin Fei flew up, and he had a look of realization. "Damn, are the people of the 18 families underground rats hiding in the desert? No wonder the people in the imperial capital could not find their headquarters even after searching the entire Tianhai dynasty." The desert of death was huge. Apart from the deathly stillness, there were no living creatures in sight. Half a day later, deep in the desert of death, in front of a barren mountain, the two of them stopped in front of it and went down through an underground tunnel and then disappeared without a trace. So it's here. Lin Fei did not dare to use his perception power to probe. The 18 families must have many experts to be able to last until now. It would be bad if he was discovered. An hour later, in front of the mountain, two figures appeared again. "Uncle Cheng, I told you that no one would come. Think about it, the headquarters of the 18 families is not that easy to find." Du Shan said disapprovingly, "Be careful, you can't be wrong." The two of them made a sudden move, and after confirming that no one was following them, they left for real. What a smart person. Lin Fei emerged from the desert. He was going to go in, but then decided to wait, because a martial artist's perception was sometimes very accurate. That was why the scene before him happened. After confirming that they had left, Lin Fei landed in front of the mountain and found the dark tunnel. It turned out to be a rune's camouflage. With the power of the yellow sand, no one could see through it. Below the tunnel, it was pitch black, and at the end there was a fire. Lin Fei did not act rashly. His eyes turned, and he suddenly had an idea. A doppelganger appeared behind him, wearing the same black robe with a cold expression. In this kind of place, it's better not to take risks. Losing a doppelganger is nothing. Lin Fei learned to be smart. Darkness sneak. The doppelganger immediately merged into the darkness. Lin Fei's main body left the tunnel and hid not far away. His entire mind was focused on the doppelganger. At the end of the fire, in the darkness, Lin Fei couldn't help but sigh. It turned out that under the desert there was a natural cave. Inside there was a fire and people came and went. These people were dressed differently, and there were actually 18 different outfits. Obviously, this was the division of the 18 families. At the same time, when family, small courtyard. He left. When Rushue said disappointedly, Guan Mingchong stood next to her and said, "People like Master Shuang Mu won't stay in one place all the time. This kind of people's stage is outside. Miss, this is left by Master Shuang Mu." The maid handed a piece of paper to her. When Rushue took the paper, and a moment later, there was a touch of shock in her eyes. "So he is from the Divine Force sect." "What? From the Divine Force sect?" In addition to the two of them, there were two elders standing behind them. One of them quickly grabbed the paper, and the two looked at each other. "So this is it." Immediately, the two showed a regretful expression and turned to report the situation. They would never have thought that the person who helped them was not a rogue cultivator, but a disciple of the Divine Force sect. I knew that our Wen family would not have such good luck. When Wuxiue murmured to herself. In the hall of the Wen family, hearing the news, everyone was stunned and couldn't react for a while. The Divine Force sect, the Buluo dynasty, one of the 3 sections. The rapid development of the Wen family was due to the old patriarch of the previous generation, who gave up his talent to develop the Wen family to this level. The patriarch was a registered disciple of the Divine Force sect. Generations of patriarchs and some core figures knew that. I didn't expect this. The patriarch of the Wen family let out a long sigh. We missed a chance to make friends. His tone was full of annoyance and regret. In the Death Desert, the headquarters of the 18 families. The overall strength of the 18 families is really terrifying. Fortunately, I came in with a doppelganger and used the dark stealth, and was almost discovered several times. In just a short half an hour, Lin Fei had a deep understanding of the 18 families. The members of the 18 families in the Tianhai dynasty were indeed worthy of the reward. If the 18 families formed a family, it would definitely be a giant in the Tianhai dynasty. I have gone to 3 areas, and now there is only 1 area left. And at this time, a group of people came in the passage. Hurry up, everyone, hurry up. These things have to be sent to the warehouse. If you are late, you will have to bear the consequences. A martial artist in a red robe berated the people behind him with an expressionless face. Lin Fei happened to see this scene, and the word warehouse fell into his ears. He could not help but have a thought. Could this warehouse be the main warehouse of the 18 families? Barging into the headquarters of the 18 families. Other than checking, Lin Fei actually had the idea of making a fortune. After knowing the strength of the 18 families, he was more interested in making a fortune. The natural underground cave was huge, and people who were not familiar with it would easily get lost. It was like walking in a huge maze. In front of the huge stone door, the martial artist in a red robe stopped. Token. The martial artist in a red robe took out a red token. Beside the stone door stood 4 martial artists with a steady aura. They were all in the late cryptic spirit realm. Go in. Creak, 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 creak. The huge stone door opened, revealing a pitch-black passage. In the passage, there was a martial artist in a black robe every few steps apart. Their strength was in the cryptic spirit realm, which shocked someone. There were quite a lot of experts in the 18 families. At the end of the passage, there was another stone door. Just like the previous time, apart from checking the token, everyone was also checked. This time it was much stricter. When they came to the 3rd stone door, there was a martial artist in a black robe standing in front of them. He was in the peak cryptic spirit realm. A powerful perception swept over. Lin Fei hid in the darkness and was shocked. This person is the strongest cryptic spirit realm I have ever seen. In his memory, other than King Kong, who was stronger than him, there was no other martial artist like him. Fortunately, it was a clone, and he had mastered darkness stealth. When the perception swept over, the martial artist in a black robe did not sense anything wrong and opened the stone door, letting them in. Lin Fei took the opportunity to enter the stone door. The warehouse of the 18 families is huge. When Lin Fei entered through the stone door, he saw a huge storeroom. This allowed him to see what a real storeroom looked like. Rows and rows of neatly arranged wooden shelves were filled with items. Chapter 285. Calm down, calm down. Lin Fei almost fainted at the sight of such a huge warehouse. No, he fainted because of the immense happiness he felt. The spoils of war from the previous battles paled in comparison to this. They were too weak. Thankfully, Lin Fei's mental fortitude was good. He realized that once there was any movement, the black-clothed martial artist outside the stone door would sense it immediately. I've struck it rich this time. It feels so much better than robbing demonic beasts. Lin Fei was the typical type of person who did not worry about the situation when faced with a huge temptation. If anyone else knew that there was a mystic spirit, great perfection martial artist guarding outside the stone door, they would definitely be extremely nervous and unable to remain calm. Lin Fei was considered an exception. In Lin Fei's eyes, a mystic spirit, great circle expert, was nothing much. With a golden thug like King Kong by his side, he would definitely be able to buy himself some time. It would only be a matter of time before he could leave. Nervous? Afraid? That was completely unnecessary. 10 minutes later, the red-robed martial artist led his men out of the warehouse. The stone door closed with a bang, and the warehouse was silent. Damn it, they actually set up a runes array. Lin Fei cursed in his heart. Be it the wooden shelves or the huge pile of materials, they were all shrouded in a layer of gentle white light. It was exceptionally eye-catching. Now Lin Fei understood why there was only a mystic spirit, great perfection martial artist guarding outside. It turned out that there was a runes array in the warehouse. It seemed that the runes array was of a high level. Lin Fei snuck into the depths of the warehouse. After confirming that there was no danger, he came out. What a loss! I should have let my main body in. Looking at the densely packed runes array, Lin Fei could only stare. Was he going to watch the treasure mountain return empty-handed? Come here for nothing? His main body in? He did not know when he would encounter such a good opportunity again. At such a close distance, even Lin Fei had no confidence in his martial arts. The black-clothed man's senses were very strong. He seemed to have cultivated this before. It's a must to take things, and the more the better. Lin Fei made up his mind. After pondering for a while, an idea popped up in his mind. In the warehouse, the little thing was lying on Lin Fei's shoulder, excitedly. Fortunately, little thing is here. Otherwise, I would have worked for nothing today. The little thing was a spatial beast that could travel through the void. Of course, Lin Fei wouldn't miss this opportunity. He brought the fire thunder bead and the bag over, intending to plunder everything. He was originally worried that the stone door would block the little thing, but in the end, it passed through without any mishap. This once again proved how powerful a beast that could travel through the void was. It's a pity that the system space can't bring them over, so I can only focus on selecting items. Lin Fei's clone showed a hint of regret. The storeroom was huge. Lin Fei started with the wooden frame. On the wooden shelves, there were some medicinal herbs packed in wooden boxes. Lin Fei temporarily did not know how to refine pills, so he gave up for now. The little thing became the best thief. The runes formation couldn't stop the little thing from traveling through the void. Lin Fei was shocked. Spatial beasts were indeed powerful. Especially the void travel, it was too awesome. If the 18 families knew that there was a beast that could travel through the void and ignore the existence of the runes formation, they would probably vomit blood. Lin Fei thought naughtily. Mystic technique manuals. When he saw the manuals, Lin Fei's eyes lit up. Yellow upper grade, dragon catcher hand. Yellow middle grade, wind cloud divine kick. Yellow upper grade, poison dragon whip. Lin Fei's eyes flashed with points as he looked at the manuals, one by one. I'll take it. Lin Fei didn't want low-grade and middle-grade martial arts, but high-grade, yellow-class martial arts. High-grade, yellow-class martial arts, no matter if he brought it back or left it to the family. With the power of high-grade, yellow-class martial arts, he could definitely build a powerful family. This was the only thing Lin Fei could do at the moment. Lin Fei didn't want his family to be suppressed by others after he left. As long as he had enough resources, he believed that his family would rise quickly. In the future, when he returned, he wouldn't have to worry about being destroyed. This could be considered as compensation to the previous Lin Fei. Along the way, he had collected no less than 100 yellow-class martial arts. It's a pity that there aren't any mystic martial arts. Lin Fei did not have any extravagant hopes of finding a profound, ranked martial art in the storeroom. In such a large empire, there were probably only one or two profound, ranked martial arts. After all, there were only a few king-level experts, and they could be counted on one hand. After collecting the mystic martial arts, Lin Fei stared at everything. So many pure elemental pills. How long will it take to refine them all? When he saw the mountain of pure elemental pills, Lin Fei almost drooled. The mountain of pure elemental pills was definitely a huge number. Tens of millions? Hundreds of millions? Lin Fei couldn't figure it out. There were quite a few pure elemental pills. Looking over, it was like a white mountain, attracting people's attention. Anyone who saw this scene, even a king-class expert, would be tempted, even if the pure elemental pills were low-grade and not high-grade ones. With so many pure elemental pills, Lin Fei started to worry, because the bags he brought in couldn't even contain them. If the system space was still there, Lin Fei wouldn't have to worry. He could take as many as he wanted. Let's look around first. There should be some space bags similar to Chinquan bags in the storeroom. Done. In the storeroom, Lin Fei found 3 high-level Chinquan bags. The space in the Chinquan bags was huge, almost the size of a basketball court. They were all sealed by the runes formation. Fortunately, with the help of the little guy, he could travel through the void and the runes formation without any pressure. This guy was now a glutton, traveling through the runes formation, swallowing pure elemental pills without worrying about his stomach exploding. It was like a bottomless pit. When the first Chinquan bag was filled, Lin Fei was shocked to find that it could actually contain 20 million pure elemental pills. 20 million. Lin Fei couldn't believe it. He had fought so hard to obtain a few 100,000 pure elemental pills, and he only had about 8 million. Yet, a Chinquan bag could contain 20 million pure elemental pills. Killing and robbing is indeed the best choice. Keep pretending, keep pretending. After storing 60 million pure elemental pills, Lin Fei couldn't wait to go back and cultivate. Looking at the empty mountain of pure elemental pills, then looking at the other mountains, Lin Fei felt helpless. If his main body was here, he could refine them all. Seems like I was too greedy. It's a pity that if I could refine all these pure elemental pills, it would be easy for me to reach king class, right? Leaving the mountain of pure elemental pills, the little guy suddenly wrinkled its nose and traveled through the void. Spiritual liquid. Inside the runes formation, there was a spiritual pool, sparkling and giving off a comfortable aura. F***CK, so much spiritual liquid? Spiritual liquid was specially used to strengthen the soul and the physical body. Just looking at this pool, there were at least 500 kilograms of spiritual liquid, and there were more than 10 pools, at least 5,000 kilograms of spiritual liquid. Unbeknownst to him, these spiritual liquids were obtained by the 18 families after much effort, and they only amounted to 5,000 kilograms, losing a lot of manpower. Lin Fei was just worrying about how to strengthen his soul, and when he wanted to take a nap, someone sent him a pillow. There were Chinquan bags and pristine jade bottles in the storeroom. Just 60 million pure elemental pills and 5,000 kilograms of spiritual liquid alone are enough for this trip. Looking at the spiritual liquid in the pond, Lin Fei felt a wave of regret. The pristine jade bottle had been used up, and it contained almost 2,500 kilograms of spiritual liquid. His spatial ring was also almost full. Does this little guy want to drink the spiritual liquid too? Lin Fei thought to himself. The little thing squatted at the edge of the pool, opened its mouth, and sucked. Like a rainbow playing with water, it absorbed all the spiritual liquid in the pool, leaving Lin Fei dumbfounded. The remaining few pools were quickly finished by the little guy. It burped and landed on Lin Fei's shoulder, squinting its eyes in satisfaction. Aren't you afraid of eating too much? The little guy waved its claws, revealing a dissatisfied expression like a child. All right, let's not talk about it anymore. let's continue looking. The storeroom was divided into a large area, and it was dazzling to look at. Lin Fei walked and stopped, and there were many things that he couldn't use. When he walked into a place where weapons were placed, Lin Fei smiled. Pure elemental pills increased quintessential essence. Spiritual liquids strengthened the soul and improved the physical body, so weapons were what Lin Fei cared about the most. The 72 flying swords would obviously be less useful in the future. Lin Fei was just worrying about where to find flying swords, and now he finally found one. Long sabers, long spears, flying swords, and the like were all here. Lin Fei wasn't interested in anything but flying swords. His 72 flying swords weren't weak, but it was a pity that total annihilation was only on the first level. One had to know that total annihilation had 10 levels, and the further one went, the more powerful it became. Mortal, superior grade, flying swords. After searching for a while, he indeed found the shadow of a flying sword. Lin Fei only had a handful of flying swords that were numinous treasures. If he used the sword formation, he could only rely on his superior grade mortal weapon flying swords. It was completely unrealistic to use a flying sword that was a numinous treasure. The flying swords in front of him just happened to help Lin Fei. After counting, Lin Fei beamed. Wow, there are so many flying swords from the 18 families. There are actually more than 700 flying swords. 72 flying swords were already powerful enough. More than 700 flying swords could form 10 sword formations, and the power would be more than 10 times or even more than now. Little thing, take all of them out. The little thing that had eaten and drunk its fill once again became a labor. It shuttled through the void, going in and out, and took out the flying swords with ease. 790 flying swords. Lin Fei could already imagine how strong he would be after refining the pure essence pill and absorbing the spirit liquid. A small dynasty would no longer be a threat to him. For some reason, Lin Fei thought of the woman in the Tenjin Temple. Sooner or later, I will step into the Tenjin Temple and crush you under me. Damn it, I hate being pushed down the most. Lin Fei was excited, his imagination running wild. He was very happy, after putting away more than 700 flying swords. As for the other weapons, Lin Fei wasn't interested. The important thing was that he couldn't carry them anymore. What else could he do? With a Qiankuan bag hanging on his body, he couldn't carry anything else. Lin Fei could only stare. Chapter 286. The storehouses of the 18 families were huge, crisscrossing horizontally and vertically. Whether it was pure yuan pills, spirit liquid, or flying swords, they were all good stuff. To outsiders, they could increase their strength and strengthen their soul. To Lin Fei, the things in front of him could help him become a super expert. Lin Fei had been looking forward to what good stuff was in the depths of the storehouse. Little thing, don't run around. The little thing on his shoulder kept shuttling through the void at an extraordinary speed. Lin Fei could only stare, but he had to say if not for the little thing's help, his harvest today would not be so rich. How many people could ignore the rune's array and shuttling through the void? Shuttling through the void was something even Lin Fei could not do, unless it was a mystic venerable or mystic sage. Lin Fei did not know and let the little thing do as it pleased. After all, it was a great hero. The little thing appeared and disappeared from time to time, having a lot of fun. I wonder if the divine martial sect's storehouse has so many treasures. Lin Fei could not help but guess. It should be possible. Walala, walala, the sound of a mirror breaking. Not good. Lin Fei's heart sank as he hurriedly flew in the direction of the little thing. In the depths of the storehouse, there was a teleportation door. At this moment, Little Thing was fighting against a phantom of a demonic beast. Don't look at how weak Little Thing looked. It didn't seem like it could stand up to a gust of wind. In fact, it wasn't weak at all. Shuttling through the void, sometimes appearing behind and quickly taking a bite. Sometimes shuttling through the void, Its sharp claws scratched the body of the phantom demonic beast, causing it to howl in pain. Destroy! Lin Fei did not dare to hesitate. He shot out several golden suns at the phantom demonic beast, trying to get rid of this demonic beast in a short period of time. Little did he know that after the shocking change in the storehouse, the stone door opened with a rumble. The mystic spirit, great perfection, expert, guarding the place, rushed in immediately. When he saw that the pure yuan pills had been emptied and the spirit liquid had disappeared, this expert's face darkened. Someone snuck into the storehouse, close all the passageways. The voice of the mystic spirit, great perfection, expert, spread out like a sound wave, instantly spreading throughout the headquarters of the 18 families. Du Shan and Li Cheng. The two of them were currently reporting on the situation in the imperial capital. At the same time, they brought up the matter of Grandmaster Shuangmu, hoping that the headquarters would send experts to kill him. Hearing the voice, Du Shan and Li Cheng immediately stood up. Du Shan and Li Cheng looked at each other and said in unison, "Why did someone come in?" The questions they had on the way immediately appeared in their hearts. Could it be that someone had followed them all the way, sneaking into the headquarters of the 18 families? How could they not know? Their faces instantly darkened. Something big had happened. At the same time, experts appeared from all the passages in the headquarters of the 18 families. Some of them rushed to the storeroom. The entire headquarters of the 18 families was in an uproar. How did this person sneak in? Who arranged this? Oh no, we've been discovered. Lin Fei's heart tightened. He had been careless and had allowed the little thing to cause trouble for him. Now that things had come to this, there was nothing he could do about it. His sword aura sped up, coordinating with the little thing to kill the demonic beasts. A massive destructive aura swept out, destroying countless materials. Who knew how many people would feel heartache because of this? Little thing, you go out first. Lin Fei hurriedly reminded. He pulled down his black robe to avoid being recognized. As for the little thing, it didn't dare to stay behind, afraid that it would be recognized. That would be big trouble. Hiss hiss. The little thing was obviously very unhappy, but it also knew that this place was dangerous. With a flash, it shuttled through the void and disappeared without a trace. Lin Fei looked at the portal. He knew that the little thing had accidentally made it. He sighed at his bad luck. However, after plundering so many things, it was more than enough. Since you have intruded into the storeroom of the 18 families, there is no need for you to leave. The black-clothed martial artist chased very quickly. He blocked in front of Lin Fei and grabbed the air. A giant black hand containing surging true essence appeared in the air. It was planning to capture him alive. How could Lin Fei exchange blows with the other party? He was purely stalling for time. He quietly slipped into the darkness and directly used darkness stealth. Rumble! The black-clothed martial artist's attack missed. He was greatly shocked as he watched Lin Fei disappear. Not good. This person knows the stealth ability. When this person discovered him, Lin Fei sneaked out of the stone door and directly went outside. Boom! As soon as he came out of the stone door, a giant black shadow came crashing down. It actually forced the stealthy Lin Fei out, and the passage kept shaking. This person must have a treasure that can break stealth. Lin Fei's heart sank. This was not good. His darkness stealth was broken. That was very bad. Sir, your stealth ability is completely useless in front of this old man's golden eye. Just surrender. The old man stood in the void. Damn you! Lin Fei took out a fire thunder pearl and threw it over without any care. He wanted to have a taste of the fire thunder pearl's power. Rumble! A huge explosion and a wave of air rose up. The entire passage was buried. Lin Fei also took the opportunity to use darkness, stealth again, and escaped. In terms of speed, there were not many people who could catch up to him. Everyone be careful. This person has a fire thunder pearl. A fire thunder pearl came down, and many people were blown away by the wave of air. Those who were weaker were injured. Damn, the headquarters of the 18 families are really full of experts. In a short period of time, Lin Fei encountered countless experts. He used darkness stealth to avoid them one by one. After a while, he was not far from the passage. As long as he escaped outside, they could only eat the dust behind him. At the same time, in front of the passage there were experts. At this moment, all of them had ugly expressions. The heavily guarded headquarters was actually infiltrated by someone, and he even hid in the warehouse and stole things. All the experts had cold expressions. Squeak, squeak, squeak. That thief is here. Outsiders did not know about darkness stealth, but it was very powerful. Once it was known, especially the headquarters of the 18 families, they would immediately find the corresponding method to break it. Lin Fei had indeed appeared. Charge! Lin Fei sneaked in the darkness and rushed forward. In the passageway, no one cared about the consequences. All sorts of attacks rained down. Berserk, quintessence, auras gathered in the passageway. Fire Thunder Pearl. When the red fire Thunder Pearl was thrown out, it immediately exploded. A huge wave of air rushed in that direction, and the oncoming attacks were instantly blasted into nothingness. They were caught unprepared. Storm. The doppelganger was proficient in wind mentality and metal mentality. Although it was not powerful, it had an advantage in close range. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh! The unexpected attack gave Lin Fei an opportunity. The leading warriors were caught unprepared again. Injuries piled on injuries. Lin Fei sneaked in the darkness again and rushed toward the passage door. Rumble! The tightly locked stone door of the passageway exploded with a boom, revealing the pure, white moonlight outside. Not good, that thief escaped. Quick, chase. We can't let him escape. That person must die. He must not leave the Death Desert. The headquarters of the 18 families was in the Death Desert. If this news spread, it would definitely attract countless enemies. The strength of the 18 families would definitely suffer a huge blow until their vitality was greatly damaged. In particular, this person had secretly infiltrated the headquarters of the 18 families and stolen the treasures in the treasury. Just this point alone made it impossible for them to let him go. Apart from that, they were more worried about how much top-secret information this person had heard from the headquarters. Lin Fei did not expect that, after a while, it was already dark outside. The yellow sand covered the sky and covered the earth. Finally out. After reuniting, Lin Fei put the cosmos bags in the system space and finally let out a sigh of relief. There are too many experts in the headquarters of the 18 families. I will hide first and make them chaotic. Then I will leave quietly. Lin Fei thought to himself. Rumble. As soon as he thought of this, a violent power blasted at the place where Lin Fei was. Damn, you even know this. Walala! Lin Fei rushed to the sky and found that he had underestimated them. There was actually a group of people outside. Storm! A huge killing intent locked on him. Lin Fei knew that he had met a real expert. Of course, he was ready to escape first. The cyan wind blade turned into 2 super wind blades, one in front and one behind. The void seemed to be torn open at this moment. The strength of the real body was far greater than that of the doppelganger, so the power was naturally extraordinary. The surrounding warriors of the 18 families obviously did not expect that the opponent's strength would be so tyrannical. Pa pa pa, facing the cyan wind blade with 10% of the true essence power, it was as fierce as a knife light. It cut them into pieces. Except for a few lucky ones, the rest of the warriors died on the spot. Go. Lin Fei broke open a gap and went straight to the depths of the Death Desert. He raised his speed to the limit, but there was still a killing intent locked on him. It seems that I really met a master this time. Lin Fei activated his quintessential essence. Regardless of the consequences, he had to increase the distance between them. As for anything else, he would just have to fight it out when the time came. Furthermore, he had the Vajra by his side and the killing sword, a supreme-grade spiritual treasure. He was temporarily confident. Hundreds of miles, thousands of miles. Under full force, Lin Fei's body was like a cool breeze, almost undetectable. Unfortunately, the killing intent was still locked on, and the distance between them was closing. 2,000 miles later, with 90% of his true essence, Lin Fei used 30% to shake off the majority of the enemies, except for the killing intent that had been locked on him. This person must be a mysterious king. Lin Fei was confident in his speed. Even a mysterious spirit peak warrior might not be able to catch up to him, not to mention that he was running at full speed. The opponent must be a king-level expert. Other than a king-level expert, Lin Fei could not think of anyone else. Damn it, it doesn't matter if this person is a king-level expert or not. I have to fight him. He grabbed a pure essence pill and swallowed it, recovering his true essence. Bastard, why are you not running anymore? In the air above the desert, the black-clothed man strolled leisurely. Every step he took covered a distance of several hundred feet. The short distance of several thousand feet was crossed in just a few breaths of time. Clearly, this was a powerful movement technique. Tornado! Without any explanation, Lin Fei chose to attack first, using his full power as soon as he attacked, treating the opponent as a powerful enemy. 2 blue sword lights, one left and one right, shot towards the incoming man, not giving him a chance to breathe. The black-robed man revealed a mocking expression. An intent attack, not bad, but too weak. He made a grabbing motion with one hand, and a massive black vortex appeared at the center of his palm. The force of the vortex's rotation crushed outward, and the 2 streaks of azure sword chi were instantly torn apart. However, the vortex didn't stop there, and it continued on toward Lin Fei. The storm was broken in a single move. It was coming at him, ferociously. King-level expert. That attack just now was nothing more than a probe. Ordinary, cryptic, great circle cultivators would have to expend a great deal of effort to block it. Yet the person who had blocked it so easily was definitely not a cryptic, great circle cultivator. He was definitely a king-level cultivator. Only a king-level cultivator would be able to do it so easily. Tornado destroys clouds. A violent gust of wind rushed over like a surging sea wave, sweeping away the majority of the attack's power and completely disintegrating it. Mystic Master Realm with cryptic-level expert battle power, you are the strongest person this elder has ever seen. The man's tone changed, but no matter how strong you are still a lowly existence. In front of a king-level expert, you are as weak as an ant. This elder can kill you with one slap. I forgot to tell you, this elder only used 10% of my power. Lin Fei already had this idea. Hearing the man admit it, he had no choice but to pay attention to the 18 families. So the 18 families had king-level experts, and it seemed like there was more than one. Moreover, a king-level expert's attack was more terrifying than he had imagined. No wonder it was said that once a king-level expert became a king-level expert, he could ignore anyone below the king level. 10% of your power is only SOSO, and here I thought king-level experts were powerful. Lin Fei laughed heartily. I also used 10% of my strength just now. We are about the same. It seems that neither of us can do anything to the other. Why don't we just forget about it and go our separate ways? This elder sees that your strength is not bad. As long as you hand over the things from the treasury and become a servant of the 18 families for 100 years, I can spare your life. The man in black said lightly. Lin Fei also laughed. I see that your strength is not bad. Why don't you follow me? I guarantee that you will live a good life and never have to worry for the rest of your life. You can have any woman you want. It's so much better than being a stupid elder. The man in black didn't get angry, but laughed instead. Ignorant Junior, it's rare for this elder to be in a good mood. Since you are so stubborn and arrogant, then I will let you taste the true battle power of a king-level expert. Boom! An unparalleled aura surged out, and the flying sand and pebbles were instantly crushed into powder. The surroundings became a vacuum zone, like a god in the yellow sand, giving people the feeling that they were unable to resist. Chapter 287. P.S. Thank you for the monthly votes cast by Ruffian and Flying in the Universe, as well as the tips from Zero Feng Yuan Zero. Thank you for your continued support. It's the last 2 days of the month. Please get a monthly vote. The headquarters of the 18 families were in a mess. Ever since the 18 families had moved their base to the Death Desert, they had never been in such a sorry state. Someone had actually infiltrated their base and stolen a large number of pure yuan pills. If not for this accident, they would not have known that such a thing had happened. Anger. Anger. The 18 representatives of the 18 families were all enraged at this moment. They had allowed people to infiltrate their heavily guarded lair. If news of this got out, they would be laughed at by everyone. If they were to be killed, what kind of scene would it be? Would they be killed, or would they be attacked by the other families? They didn't know, but they knew that this person couldn't escape the Death Desert. Once he did, it would affect the situation of the 18 families. With the current situation of the 18 families, once they were discovered by the families of the imperial capital, they wouldn't be able to benefit from being attacked. What happened just now? Why did someone sneak in? One of the leaders of the 18 families said angrily, "It should be that person who followed Dushan in." Another big shot said, "That person is very fast. We lost more than half of our men and couldn't catch up to him. His stealth ability is very powerful. He also has the fire thunder bead that we refined. We were caught off guard." Everyone was furious at the mention of this person. That person definitely can't escape the Death Desert. Elder Fei has already made his move and will be back soon. Don't worry. No matter how strong that person is, he might not be Elder Fei's match. After all, Elder Fei is an early-stage king-class expert. Hearing that Elder Fei had already made his move, everyone was relieved. With Elder Fei here, as long as it's not a king-class expert, no one can escape. That person might not be a king-class expert. Otherwise, he wouldn't have snuck in alone. He should be a mystic-level expert. Elder Fei will probably be back soon. Little did they know that the mystic-level expert they were talking about was only at the mystic adept level. Rumble. Amidst the yellow sand that filled the sky, the two figures would occasionally exchange blows and occasionally dodge. The surrounding space had turned into a vacuum. When the yellow sand flew in, it would instantly turn to dust. Bang! A silhouette was sent flying, and a huge hole was smashed open on the yellow sand. Cough, cough! A king stage expert is indeed difficult to deal with. Fortunately, the opponent is only at the early stage of king stage. Lin Fei jumped up and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. His eyes were filled with excitement. He hadn't felt anything when he had fought against the mystic spirit experts, but it was different when he was fighting against an early-stage king. "Brat, you can't even receive 30% of my strength. How are you going to fight against me?" Elder Fei laughed heartily. He was also shocked in his heart. Just what was the background of this person? He was actually able to block 30% of his strength and still have the strength to fight. If he was a little stronger, wouldn't he be even more terrifying? "It's just 30% of my strength. That was just a warm-up exercise. I will let you understand what a real battle is." Whoosh! Sand and pebbles flew around Lin Fei again. Wind sword as one. The sky was filled with flying swords. All of them formed from quintessential essence. They turned into two green sword rivers, one above and one below, sweeping over. It was as if the void was going to be cut open. This sword was fast and urgent. The fierce sword will rushed towards the opponent. Elder Fei was immediately submerged by the two sword rivers. Then a wave of true yuan was released from the center of the sword rivers. The green sword rivers were shattered, and a man in red armor walked out. Unfortunately, this sword of yours can't kill me. If you were at the mystic spirit level, you might be able to injure me. Unfortunately, you are not. You can't even break through this elder's profound armor. How are you going to fight against me? A red profound armor. It was the profound armor that could be formed at the mystic spirit level. A king stage expert could truly form a profound armor. This man had formed all the important parts of his body. Apart from his head, his entire body had formed a suit of armor. No wonder he could block my tyrannical sword. Lin Fei thought, I shouldn't be his opponent in a one-on-one fight. Plus, the opponent has formed a profound armor. It's not that easy to deal with. It's time to use my trump card. Lin Fei didn't dare to stay any longer. After a simple exchange, he already knew his true strength. It was between Mystic Spirit Peak and Mystic King Stage. Compared to a real Mystic King Stage expert, his battle power was still lacking. If he refined a large amount of pure Yuan pills, he would definitely have the battle power of a Mystic King Stage expert. Storm. The green wind blades once again attacked Elder Fei. Elder Fei had already tested his opponent's strength. He was shocked. Fortunately, he had tested his opponent's strength and calmed down. It was enough to take him down. Break. Elder Fei, who was wearing a profound armor, rushed over like a beam of light. His huge true yuan crushed all the green wind blades, and the profound armor on his body flickered. Your strength is only SOO. Now lie down for this elder. The true yuan palm slapped down from the sky. His aura instantly increased. The king stage's aura crushed down. Under the pressure of the true yuan, the desert below him turned into dust. Vajra go. Elder Fei was shocked. He immediately dodged to the left, but it was still too late. His whole body was sent flying, and a huge pit appeared in the desert. As soon as his opponent appeared, Lin Fei was already prepared. Just when his opponent let down his guard, he gave a fatal blow. Good job! Walala, Lin Fei soared into the sky. The long sword in his hand shook. It was the killing sword that he hadn't used yet. His killing, intense sword. Wind sword as one. After switching to a supreme grade spirit treasure, Elder Fei's face changed. He said in shock, supreme grade spirit treasure. Vajra divine ape. If it was before, Elder Fei didn't think much of it and had the confidence to suppress his opponent. But after seeing the supreme grade spirit treasure, Vajra divine ape, his heart was no longer calm. He was a king stage expert, and his spirit treasure was only a high-grade spirit treasure. His opponent was only a mystic adept, and he had a supreme-grade spirit treasure. Wasn't this bullying? The important thing was that he had a Vajra divine ape. Elder Fei was indeed frightened. If it was a mystic-level expert, he would have died under the Vajra divine ape's attack. Elder Fei was only injured, and his battle strength didn't decrease. Roar! Vajra didn't care what his opponent thought. After the successful attack, he rushed down again. The weapon in his hand had long been changed to a high-grade mortal weapon, and his battle strength had greatly increased. Rumble! Rumble! The battle in the desert of death didn't stop. As a king stage expert, Elder Fei was in a state of panic at the beginning, but he quickly recovered and barely managed to block the two's attacks. Holy Emperor Fist! Elder Fei had a pair of black gloves on his hands, and they emitted the terrifying power of a spirit treasure. It was a pair of high-grade spirit treasures, and his whole body emitted a holy aura. And this Holy Emperor Fist was a high-grade yellow level martial art. When used by a king stage expert, its power was almost comparable to a low-grade mystic level martial art. Bang, bang, bang! The fierce fist technique landed on Vajra first. Vajra's defense was strong, but it was still forced out of a certain range. But it couldn't kill. After that, Elder Fei's target was Lin Fei, a mystic spirit, great perfection, demonic beast. Even if it was him, he would need time to kill it. And now, there was a person beside him who had comprehended sword intent. Sword intent and a high-grade spirit treasure. Elder Fei was very wary. Destroy! The golden sun turned into a huge golden millstone, and with the force of thunder, it crushed Elder Fei's fist into pieces. It didn't stop there, and it continued to crush. Holy Fist! A golden giant appeared in the air and walked over. Everywhere it passed, the golden sun turned into a huge millstone, and it shattered one by one in front of the Holy Fist. Elder Fei finally seized the opportunity. The giant in the air punched out again, and a punch of true essence was thrown at Lin Fei's position. Lin Fei's true essence was greatly depleted, and he only had about 40% of it left. And the opponent's fist technique was really fierce, and it carried a vast holy aura. Water, fire, lotus. The huge lotus opened its leaves, and it blocked the huge fist. Lin Fei himself moved with the wind. Swish, 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 water, fire, lotus was crushed mercilessly. Lin Fei had already won the opportunity, and he appeared behind Elder Fei. The sword box vibrated, and 72 flying swords flew out, forming a sword wheel, and smashed down mercilessly. Soul Shock. A two-pronged attack. Lin Fei rarely used Soul Shock. It wasn't that he didn't like it, but he rarely had the chance to use it. Today he finally had one. Soul Shock was a secret skill of the soul. Elder Fei was about to attack, but his whole body was in midair. His head felt like it was pricked by a needle, and he felt a momentary dizziness. His whole body stopped, and he fell down. 72 flying swords hit him like missiles. Even though it was only a moment, Elder Fei could no longer block the attack. Ripples appeared on his armor, and there was a hole, and he vomited blood. Not dead yet. The defense of a king-class expert was beyond Lin Fei's imagination. Total annihilation. Lin Fei used total annihilation again, and under the activation, he attacked Elder Fei again. After the first attack, Elder Fei was already injured. Once any expert was injured, their strength would be affected, and Elder Fei was no exception. Soul attack. You actually know soul attack. The soul was the most mysterious place and also the weakest. Even Elder Fei, who had the strength of a king class, had to be cautious when facing soul attack. Don't think that it only lasted for 1 or 2 breaths, but this 1 or 2 breaths could take one's life. Although Elder Fei could react to the soul shock, just now he was heavily injured. Now that he was attacked again, it was already very painful. Pam Vajra attacked from behind and hit Elder Fei's back. He staggered, and 72 flying swords landed on his body. After suffering 2 heavy injuries, Elder Fei's strength was 80 to 90% gone. This person is too scary. He actually used all his skills, and he even knows soul shock. How can I continue fighting? Elder Fei panicked, and he turned to leave. This panic gave Lin Fei a chance. Lin Fei's divine soul power was severely depleted. Seeing that his opponent wanted to escape, he, who had used all his skills, naturally wouldn't let him leave. Gritting his teeth, he used soul shock again, and the third total annihilation was launched. Boom! Chapter 288. In the desert of death, under the moonlight, yellow sand danced in the air. Why is Elder Fei 1,000 miles away? 2 figures flew over in the night sky. These 2 were the king-level experts of the 18 families, responsible for Elder Fei's rescue. The thief's speed is very fast. Luckily, Elder Fei caught up immediately, or else the thief would have found an opening. With Elder Fei's help, the thief can't escape. Let's catch up quickly and not let the thief escape. Otherwise, our 18 families will become a joke. This *T profound armor has finally been broken. Lin Fei panted. After 3 total annihilation, Elder Fei was heavily injured and his body was a bloody mess. After using 3 total annihilation and 2 soul shock, Lin Fei's Yuan Qi was greatly injured. Only now did he realize that king-level experts were not easy to deal with. It was better to kill mystic-level experts. If it was a mystic-level expert, it would not be easy. Lin Fei could finally heave a sigh of relief. Elder Fei unleashed 3 tyrannical attacks consecutively, and the left half of his body shattered, revealing a large patch of white bones. It was a horrible sight to behold. "I won, you lost," Lin Fei said to Elder Fei on the ground. Elder Fei coughed out blood and was heavily injured. "You are very strong, but you have offended the 18 families, and I am only one of the kings. Just wait for all the kings of the 18 families to hunt you down." Elder Fei knew that he had lost, and he had lost completely in the hands of a young man. Lin Fei's expression did not change. "Hunt me down? Then they will have to find me first. You can go down now." Water Fire Lotus. The huge, lifelike lotus enveloped Elder Fei's body. Then it mercilessly tore the other party into pieces. A king-level expert had fallen in the desert of death. Cough, cough. Lin Fei coughed out blood. King-level experts are indeed strong. This person is only at the primary stage of the king level, but he is already so strong. It seems that the 18 family strength is not limited to this. He took out a spiritual medicine and swallowed it. After a while, his injuries recovered a lot, especially his soul. It was not as weak as before, but he could not use soul shock for now. He collected all the spoils of war on the ground. Lin Fei put away Vajra and was about to leave when he frowned. Oh no, they are so fast. He had just managed to kill 1 king-level expert. Just as he heaved a sigh of relief, 2 figures appeared above the death desert. Their auras were similar to the king-level expert that had just been killed. Early stage king. If he wasn't injured, Lin Fei could still try to shake them off. However, if he turned around and tried to escape, he would definitely be caught. Facing 2 king-tier experts, his battle prowess was obviously insufficient. Lin Fei gritted his teeth and said in his heart, "I can only go all out and gamble." A moment later, 2 figures appeared at the same time. Not good. Elder Fei is dead. When the 2 of them landed and saw the corpse on the ground, their expressions sank. They hadn't expected such an outcome. Elder Fei, a king-class expert, had died just like that. King-class experts were the strongest fighting force of the 18 families. Losing one in the death desert was a heavy loss. He didn't know when he could make up for it. Who killed Elder Fei? Rumble. The violent attack blasted a huge crater in the surrounding area, and all the yellow sand was turned into powder. The thief is injured. He can't run far. One of the king stage experts glanced over and immediately made a judgment. Search the heavens and plunge the earth. A divine ability appeared. He's in the north. He must have just left. Let's go after him. One of the king-level experts had a cold glint in his eyes as he rushed out at the same time, seemingly to chase after the thief. He's finally gone. Looks like king-class experts are pretty easy to trick. 1,000 feet below their feet, Lin Fei clenched his teeth. Blood flowed down the corner of his mouth, but he did not dare to relax. It was the injury from the shock just now. The most dangerous place was also the safest place. I'm back. Come out. I know you're hiding nearby. A loud rumbling sound spread throughout the area. Under the yellow sand, Lin Fei spat out blood again, but he didn't dare to spit it out, afraid that his aura would be detected. Damn, why did he come back? Luckily, I didn't go out rashly. Otherwise, I would have seen a ghost. Lin Fei cursed in his heart. King-level experts were not so easy to trick. Rumble, rumble! After the king-level expert vented his anger, he forcefully blasted everything within 100 feet into nothingness. He then used his perception to search, as if he was digging 3 feet into the ground. After finding nothing, he left unwillingly. Below, Lin Fei was slightly surprised. I didn't expect that person to be so fast. My clone was killed so quickly. The king-level expert had caught up to him in less than 200 miles. I can't move. These two king-level experts should be stronger than that elder fae from before, especially with divine abilities. I have to be careful. Lin Fei was worried. Who asked him to be injured? Search. We must find the person. After the two met, their faces were as gloomy as the dark clouds in July. The thief must still be in this desert. The one we just killed was just a clone. We must find the person even if we have to dig 3 feet into the ground. One of their king-class experts had been killed, and this caused them to be filled with resentment. Even Elder Faye had died, let alone them. Swish, swish! The two quickly left and began to search with their powerful perception. Under the desert, Lin Fei only put down a huge rock after they had completely left. His entire body sank down once more, this time by 150 feet. The pressure from the yellow sand increased Lin Fei's pressure. He couldn't use the water fire lotus down there, so he could only rely on his physical body. At a distance of 100 feet, his aura would leak and he would be discovered. I've robbed so much and killed a king-level expert. It's all worth it. It seems that I can't leave the Death Desert in a short time. I can enter seclusion here. They probably won't think that I'm hiding here. Elder Fei was dead. When the news spread, the 18 families were shocked. A mystic spirit master was easy to raise, but a king-level master was not. Both resources and talent were important. Even in the 18 families, the number of king-level masters could be counted on one hand, not more than 10. One could imagine how important they were. Search. Dig 3 feet into the ground. The king-level experts of the 18 families were all sent out to search the Death Desert. Although there weren't many people in the Death Desert, there were still some martial artists that appeared and died tragically. The 18 families sent out all their experts, and this search lasted for half a month. They almost searched the entire Death Desert, but they didn't see anyone leave. This infuriated them to the point of death. How could someone disappear? Even so, they didn't give up and listed the Death Desert as a forbidden area. Their powerful perception kept scanning the Death Desert. Even with such a lineup, there was still no trace of the thief. If this continued for a month or so, it would completely stop. The 18 families couldn't withstand the search. If they couldn't find the person and the information was leaked, it would definitely be a huge blow. After searching high and low, the 18 families finally gave up. They couldn't afford to delay any longer. It had been almost 2 months since the 18 families started their search. The Death Desert was calm and peaceful. On this day, the yellow sand rolled and the sun was scorching. On the hot sand, a sand-like lizard appeared out of thin air and looked around. In the next second, it appeared somewhere else and kept moving back and forth. Hiss! On the desert, the yellow sand flew up and a figure suddenly rushed out. His upper body was bare and his skin was bronze. He was filled with an explosive power. 2 months. Lin Fei subconsciously raised his hand to block the light, obviously not used to it. After a while, he adjusted to it and took out a set of clothes from the system space. The one that came out from the desert was Lin Fei, who was hiding under the sand. In the past 2 months, Lin Fei's body had become much sturdier. His bronze skin was very different from before. This bastard, why did he take so long to find a person? In the past 2 months, Lin Fei had been hiding under the sand, not daring to come out. The strong perception that appeared from time to time was clearly that of a late-stage, profound king. Every time his perception swept out, Lin Fei would be very careful. He was nearly discovered a few times, but he managed to dodge it by a hair's breadth. Otherwise, he would not be standing here now. After risking his life in closed-door cultivation in the Death Desert for 2 months, Lin Fei's harvest was huge. First was his core lake. It kept expanding and became a sizable lake. After cultivating the first layer of the Azure Dragon True Body, he managed to refine close to 70 million pure essence pills. It could be said that in the past 2 months, Lin Fei had been constantly refining pure essence pills. If it were before, 5 million pure essence pills would have been the limit. Now that he had consumed 70 million pure essence pills, there was no limit at all. This shocked Lin Fei. In the end, he determined that his body could withstand such a huge amount of quintessence. It should be due to cultivating the 4-star Azure Dragon True Body. This made Lin Fei even more concerned about the later layers of the Azure Dragon True Body. After consuming 70 million pure essence pills in just 2 months, Lin Fei felt that with a casual move, his body would be filled with dense, quintessential essence. It was inexhaustible. How many people could refine 70 million pure essence pills in 2 months? Of course, this did not include those super experts like the profound sages or the profound emperors. Probably only Lin Fei could achieve this. If he dared to say he was second, no one would dare to say they were first. Chapter 289. 2 months of secluded cultivation. The speed at which Lin Fei's strength increased had reached a terrifying level. Who knew how many people would be scared out of their wits if word got out? In terms of the purity of his inner yuan, few Mystic King experts could compare to him. After absorbing 70 million pure yuan pills, Lin Fei's strength had reached a terrifying level. Terrifying inner yuan combined with sword techniques of conception could be said to be the best combination. How many people could achieve this, especially when they had 2 conceptions at the same time? If he were to encounter those 2 early-stage, king-stage powerhouses again, Lin Fei would be able to easily kill them. In terms of inner yuan, Lin Fei was already ahead of everyone else. After all, 70 million pure yuan pills would take anyone a few years to absorb. It might even take more than 10 years. In 2 months, Lin Fei had refined 70 million pure yuan pills. It could be said that he was a one-of-a-kind freak. Apart from this, in terms of his spirit, after refining 2,000 kilograms of spirit liquid, it could be said that his spirit had grown countless times stronger. At the same time, his physical body had also become stronger. With 720 flying swords, Lin Fei could now control them at will. This was a quantitative transition. In terms of power, it was much stronger than before. If he could deal with that Elder Fei again, he would not have to work so hard. It's been 2 months, including the 2 months before, for months have passed. There's still one more thing I need to do. Lin Fei looked into the depths of the desert, his eyes flashing with sharpness. In half a year's time, Lin Fei had to go to the Dynasty War. How could Lin Fei miss such a huge treasure trove before him? No matter what, he had to make a fortune, especially the remaining pure yuan pills. He had to bring some back for his family's disciples to cultivate. He had to go to the headquarters of the 18 clans. This was the desert of death. Whether he left or it would be easy, there was no need to choose a path of retreat. As for the imperial capital of the Tianhai dynasty, he could not go there for the time being. The desert of death, the headquarters of the 18 clans. After 2 months, the nest had become even more tightly guarded. The decorations on the outside had become even more lifelike. If Lin Fei had not been there once, he would not have been able to recognize the location of the nest. 18 families. I wonder how many king-tier experts there are. Lin Fei appeared outside. This time, we'll just kill our way in. When the time comes, we'll just grab one and leave. No matter what, we'll still be able to make a fortune. Under the desert, in the lair of the 18 families. Damn it, we're exhausted. It's all that guy's fault. In the passageway, 2 men in black were patrolling, and one of them was complaining. The other person looked around and said in a low voice, "Don't talk nonsense. If they hear you, we'll be in trouble. If it's tough, it'll be tough. It'll be over soon." I really don't know how that guy got in. Before the man could finish his words, he fell to the ground, his blood staining the ground. Sure enough, the security is tight. Lin Fei appeared. Lin Fei had already expected the 18 families to strengthen their defenses. It would have been abnormal if they hadn't done so. Do you think this will work? Lin Fei went straight to the passageway of the storehouse. Relying on his previous memories and his improved movement skills, he was like a light breeze blowing past. Outsiders didn't feel anything at all. The storehouse from 2 months ago now had quite a few mystic spirit Great Circle experts. At the same time, there was a mystic king tier expert standing guard at the door. It seemed that after the previous incident, they were worried that someone would sneak into the treasury. With such a lineup, they really didn't have to worry that someone would dare to rob them. In fact, ever since the previous incident, the 18 families had been restless. Not only had they lost a large amount of pure yuan pills and spirit liquid, they had even lost a king stage expert. It could be said that they had suffered a great deal of damage. That was why this scene was happening. Seeing this, Lin Fei's brows furrowed as he thought to himself, a few mystic spirit, great circle powerhouses, and a king-level powerhouse. Do they really think they can stop me? This is too laughable. It's a good chance to test out my full strength. This time, Lin Fei's goal was very simple. He wanted to rob the treasury of the 18 families and kill a bunch of people at the same time. In just 2 months, Lin Fei relied on the resources of the 18 families to improve his strength by leaps and bounds. This kind of cultivation speed was all due to the large amount of resources. Now that he had the strength, Lin Fei naturally wanted to come back and plunder a large sum. Kill. Darkness stealth activated. At the stone door, there were experts standing guard on both sides. Even a fly wouldn't be able to fly in. 1. Soul shock was used in an instant. Ever since his spirit had strengthened, Lin Fei didn't need to worry about getting injured when using soul shock. This was all thanks to the spirit liquid. The people in front of the stone door subconsciously felt their vision darken. Then they really fell into true darkness. Soul shock combined with concept of wind was simply a deadly weapon. Instant kill in one move. What a terrifying attack. Lin Fei was also shocked to see his own attack. 70 million pure yuan pills had raised his strength to this level. Coupled with soul shock, he could instantly kill such a group of experts. Open. The stone door was opened and Lin Fei rushed in. Indeed, they added runes arrays. Do they think they can stop me like this? Looking at the huge pile of items from before, they either strengthened runes arrays or used stronger runes arrays. If it was someone else, they might feel pressured. However, Lin Fei didn't feel any pressure at all. To him, dealing with the runes arrays was a piece of cake. Lin Fei didn't want anything else. He went straight for the pure yuan pills. Lin Fei's main goal was to snatch the pure yuan pills. He didn't care about anything else. Apart from the pure yuan pills, they were useless to him. When he arrived in front of the mountain of pure yuan pills, Lin Fei could tell that there was a runes array set up on the mountain. From the looks of it, it was a very powerful one. It was as if they were worried that someone would snatch the pure yuan pills, which was why they didn't set up the runes array. Lin Fei smiled. Destroy. Facing the runes array, Lin Fei directly used the metal concept. Rings of golden suns bombarded the runes array. It exploded forcefully. Rumble, rumble, the power of destruction was used on the runes array. With just one attack, the runes array shattered. After refining the pure yuan pills, Lin Fei's strength was more than 10 times stronger than before. Facing a runes array, there was nothing to worry about. Collect! Opening the system space, Lin Fei began to search for the pure yuan pills. Previously, he had lost a big opportunity. This time, Lin Fei didn't intend to give it up. What? Someone broke into the treasury again. After the runes array was broken, the big shots of the 18 families were shocked again. The scene from 2 months ago was still fresh in their memory. After someone broke in and stole a large amount of pure New Year's Day and a large amount of spirit liquid, Everyone from the 18 clans carried a bellyful of resentment until now. After 2 months of searching, they still couldn't find the whereabouts of the thief. They thought that he had left the Death Desert. Who would have thought that he would return again and enter the treasury? Rage. He was enraged. Surround him. Don't let him escape. Everyone was furious. The first time they broke into the treasury, it was because their defenses were weak. This time, they strengthened their defenses. How did that person get in? In the blink of an eye, they received the news. What? Another king-class expert died? Even the mystic spirit, great perfection experts, are dead. Uproar. Everyone was in an uproar. There were only so many king-class experts in the 18 families. Now that another one had died, they felt as if they were dreaming. How could a king-class expert be killed? Everyone rushed to the treasury. They wanted to see how strong that person was to dare to break into the treasury again. Did he really think that he was a peerless expert? In the treasury, rumble, another mountain of pure yuan pills was stolen. Lin Fei was in a good mood. Last time I gave you pure yuan pills. This time, I won't leave any for you. I will take all the pure yuan pills in one go. In the treasury, there was a mountain of pure yuan pills. Roughly speaking, there were at least tens of millions of pure yuan pills. Added together, there were at least hundreds of millions of pure yuan pills. If it wasn't for the fact that he couldn't forget the last time, Lin Fei wouldn't have broken into the treasury again. He didn't know when he would get such a good opportunity again. Therefore, he had to take as many pure yuan pills as he could. King Kong, come out. He summoned King Kong, who had been asleep for 2 months. Roar! This guy had been suppressing his anger for a long time. The King Kong godly ape was a mutated beast. Naturally, it had a temper. After staying in the pet space for 2 months, King Kong was full of anger. Let's vent our anger. Roar! King Kong swallowed a large amount of pure yuan pills and rushed forward, slapping the martial artists. The weaker ones were sent flying, and by the time they landed on the ground, they were already dead. Their internal organs, muscles, and bones were all shattered. It was impossible for them to survive. Brutal. Damn it, a mystic great circle beast. King Kong godly ape. King Kong couldn't be bothered. His furry claws slashed down at them. It was indescribably terrifying. Mystic Adept Realm cultivators were killed with a single claw. Mystic Adept Realm cultivators were sent flying with a single slap. In the treasury, no one was a match for King Kong. If they were to encounter him, they would either be slapped to death or clawed to death. There was almost no other choice. In the treasury, there were countless casualties. King Kong godly ape die. Finally, there was an expert, a king stage expert. Roar! King Kong roared. He didn't show the slightest bit of fear. On the contrary, his fighting spirit increased, and he directly charged at the king stage expert. Keep the mortal weapons. Mystic arts, secret manuals. This time, Lin Fei was practically sweeping through the treasury. When he saw something decent, he didn't care if it was useful or not. He just kept it first. Roar! Although King Kong was strong, he was still sent flying dozens of feet away by the combined attacks of the king stage experts. If not for the fact that he was a mystic, great circle beast, he would definitely have been heavily injured. But now he was just injured. The king stage experts of the 18 clans made their move, especially after knowing that another king stage expert had been killed. All the king stage experts could not control themselves. Arrogance, too arrogant. The 18 clans were their lair, and someone had not only killed them, but also robbed them. No matter what, they couldn't swallow this anger. Therefore, the remaining 6 king stage experts all rushed over, ready to kill the other party. When they saw a mystic spirit, great circle beast, they were all shocked. They finally understood why Elder Fei had been killed. It was most likely due to the help of this mutated beast. King Kong's intelligence had been activated. He knew that these people were powerful when they joined forces. If he were to be attacked for a while longer, he would definitely die here. Time to go. When Lin Fei saw the injured King Kong, he hurriedly kept it. A cold light flashed in his eyes. Which one of you injured my pet? Lin Fei flew up, glaring at them angrily. With confidence, Lin Fei did not care how strong they were. As long as it wasn't a profound emperor, he was very calm. The king stage experts of the 18 clans were stunned when they heard this. They almost wondered if they had said the wrong thing. What did he mean by injured his pet? This person was way too arrogant. Sir, how dare you? You were the one who did that 2 months ago, weren't you? A gray-robed elder said angrily. Did I? Why don't I remember? Lin Fei shook his head, looking serious. Sophistry. How dare you? That person said angrily. Do you really think this is your home? That you can come and go as you please? Sir, you are too arrogant. Is that so? This is a place where I can come and go as I please. Whoosh! Lin Fei left behind an afterimage as he dashed towards the stone door. Windstorm. With just one move, the martial artists in front of him were almost killed by Lin Fei. Awesome, this is too awesome. With just one move, countless martial artists died, killing people in front of their king stage experts. They were so angry that they almost vomited blood. Chase. They gritted their teeth. What mystic master? Mystic spirit realm? Facing a sword art with intent realm, they could not block a single attack. They were either killed or heavily injured. Lin Fei's true essence seemed to be endless. The sword art with intent realm was increasing in power, especially the wind sword art. When he used it, these martial artists could not block a single attack. Rumble, rumble. Under the desert, a huge skylight was blasted open again. Lin Fei flew in front. Behind him, 6 king stage experts chased after him. Among these 6 king stage experts, the strongest was a late-stage king stage expert, and the weakest was an early-stage king stage expert. When they worked together, it was a huge formation. Total annihilation. After stopping in midair, Lin Fei's 720 flying swords transformed into a super flying sword. He took the lead and attacked them like a white stream of light. Total annihilation, 2nd level. Be careful. No one expected it. The other party actually dared to attack them in the middle of the road. More importantly, the attack was too fierce, catching them off guard. Under normal circumstances, when facing the joint pursuit of 6 king stage experts, they would definitely flee. It was impossible for them to counterattack, but someone actually did it. Boom! 720 flying swords were not 72 flying swords. In terms of power, the difference between the two was too great. 18 clans are only SOO. I will take the things away. Chapter 290. P.S. Thanks to LDY1980 for his monthly votes. It was the last day. Robbing the monthly votes. Hand them all over. Hand them over, and you won't be killed in the desert of death. The king-level experts looked at each other. The yellow sand howled and the wind raged. The king-level experts were indeed unsettled. It was like a raging storm that could not be calmed down for a long time. Swish, swish, swish. Behind him, many experts followed up. When they saw the wretched state of the king-level experts, they were all dumbfounded. What had happened? Where's the thief? The atmosphere was very tense. Finally, someone could not help but ask. 6 king-level experts had attacked. Even if the thief was a late Xian king, he could not escape from them. But now, where was he? Where did he go? Could he have been killed? He's gone. One of the king-level experts' voice was so soft that it was almost inaudible. One could imagine his current state of mind. Couldn't you stop him? The crowd could not help but be shocked. How could this be possible? Could the thief be a late king-level expert? Another person asked with a strange expression. The 18 families had always had a smooth life in the Tianhai dynasty. Even the families of the Tianhai dynasty could not do anything to them. They could only vent their anger through bounty missions. Among them, there was no lack of king-level powerhouses. Under the hands of the 18 families, several king-level powerhouses were killed. This was a show of power for the 18 families. The name 18 families was taboo in the Tianhai dynasty. Otherwise, why would a dignified young master of a family tremble in fear after hearing the name 18 families? A person's reputation was like a tree's shadow. The 18 families were like that. The patriarch is here. Just as the crowd was about to understand the situation, a ray of light came. It was the leader of the 18 families. "Greetings, patriarch." The group hurriedly said, "Where is he?" The words were neither light nor heavy. It was like an alarm bell had rung in their hearts. "He's gone." The two simple words carried a tone of helplessness. 6 king-level experts had worked together to deal with a person who was not even a king-level expert, but they had watched him escape. No one would believe such a thing. They had truly experienced this feeling of helplessness. How could there be such a monstrous genius in the world? Is that so? Tell me quickly. After hearing the details, a rare look of shock finally appeared on the expressionless face of the newcomer. The 18 great clans were the real big shots. When had they ever heard of such an unimaginable thing? If they hadn't spoken up and narrated it personally, it would have been difficult for them to connect the dots. With such strength, this family head would like to experience it for myself. Why did Lin Fei leave? This was because the king's aura that soared into the sky was rushing towards him. Even though it was several hundred li away, the killing intent still soared into the sky. Looking at the time, it should be arriving soon. After his strength advanced by leaps and bounds, Lin Fei appeared several hundred li away in the blink of an eye, stopping in a desert. It had only taken him a short while. The flying sand and pebbles around him did not affect Lin Fei's position. In less than the time it takes for an incense stick to burn, the murderous aura that soared into the sky rushed over. After seeing the person who had stopped in the desert, a trace of shock flashed across the person's face, and he stopped in midair. "Sir, you're quite bold to barge into the 18 great clans again and again. Do you think the 18 great clans are easy to bully?" Song Yen, the real leader of the 18 great clans, stared at the black-clothed man in front of him, and a towering aura crushed over. It was clearly the strength of a consummate, profound king. Lin Fei was unmoved. His eyes narrowed slightly, and the aura that he had retracted rushed out like a flood from a broken dam. Boom! The two powerful auras collided, and a huge black vortex suddenly rose between them, actually tearing a hole in the void. "Who asked me to just happen to be passing by, and I happened to see that the 18 great clans have a lot of things, so I conveniently took some. If you want to blame someone, you can only blame yourself for having treasures, but no experts to guard them. Aren't you opening the door for others to take?" Lin Fei did not take the other party seriously at all, and his tone carried a ridiculing tone. Damn it! Song Yen suppressed the anger in his heart. This person is too arrogant to the extreme. The 18 great clans had a reputation outside, and even though it was a bad reputation in the Tianhai dynasty, their strength was second to none, if not second to none. However, Song Yen could not find a way to refute this statement. He could not say that the strength of the 18 great clans was already strong enough, but they met a freak like him. In the exchange of auras just now, both sides had a test. This person is very strong. Song Yen originally wanted to rely on the strength of a consummate, profound king to suppress the other party, using his aura to blast away the other party's mental collapse. Unexpectedly, the other party's aura was as strong as his, and the outcome could not be determined. Just based on this, Song Yen knew that he could not take down this person, and it would be even more difficult to kill him. Humph! Since you say so, then let me see how strong you are to dare to say such big words. Song Yen snorted coldly, and with one hand he grabbed at the void, and a golden rod appeared. The Jin Guang shone, and it emitted the power of a spirit treasure. It turned out to be a superior grade spirit treasure. Who's afraid of who? Shatter. Lin Fei took out the killing sword and directly used the concept of metal. The giant golden millstone was hundreds of meters wide, and the aura of destruction filled the air. Wherever it went, large swathes of yellow sand were instantly blasted into nothingness by the destructive sword chi. Good. Song Yan's face was solemn. He knew that the other party would be difficult to deal with, especially the strongest concept of metal. Divine Dragon Tail Whip. The golden rod smashed forward. Roar! A whistling sound rang out, and a golden dragon that was also several hundred meters long appeared. It brought with it an unparalleled domineering aura as it charged towards the golden millstone. When it was several hundred meters long, its huge dragon tail smashed into the millstone, causing it to shake. Following this, the millstone smashed downwards, smashing into the golden dragon, causing countless dragon scales to fly off. They were evenly matched and both were about the same. In just one move, both of them knew what to expect. Lin Fei was shocked. This should be the strongest of the 18 great clans. He's really not simple. His Genuine is so strong that he can use such a domineering attack. If it was this king-level expert, I'm afraid I wouldn't have had chance to escape. On the other side, Song Yan was also shocked. Abnormal, too monstrous. He's only at the Mystic Master Realm, but his combat strength has reached the Mystic King Realm. Which family has cultivated him? An ordinary family can't cultivate such a powerful disciple, so he must have a powerful family behind him. Could it be that he's from a mid-level dynasty? Clatter! Song Yan didn't believe that a small dynasty could produce such a monstrous genius. He must be from a mid-level dynasty, whether it was a family or a sect. He must be the most powerful one. Song Yan almost vomited blood. How could he take revenge? His heart sank. He could only use his strongest means to see if there was a chance. Song Yan was already sure that this person was from a mid-level dynasty, and he had a deep fear in his heart. What did a mid-level dynasty represent? It represented absolute strength. Tianhai dynasty was considered powerful, right? Among all the dynasties, it was an inconspicuous existence. A mid-level dynasty could casually send an expert to make a small dynasty restless, and 3 or 4 experts could wipe out a small dynasty. The person in front of him came from a mid-level dynasty, and Song Yan had no intention of seeking justice. He could do nothing about losing a large number of pure essence pills and spirit liquid. Fatal 13 staves. Song Yan's staff technique changed, and the domineering staff technique turned into killing. Behind him, 13 phantoms drilled out, and a large area was filled with killing intent. Total annihilation. The 20 flying swords were divided into 2 white sword rivers, one in front and one behind, rushing towards the 18 phantoms. These phantoms were just evolved from the staff technique. In the face of the great increase in strength, the 2 white sword rivers converged into a pair of scissors, which cut in the air. Wherever the scissors passed, the phantoms immediately dissipated. Boom! The 20 flying swords cut again. Song Yan was under great pressure. This person's dark armor has already transitioned to battle armor. That blow just now didn't kill that guy. It will be difficult to deal with him in the future, Lin Fei said regretfully. Under the attack of the 720 flying swords, at the critical moment, Song Yan used a high-grade spirit treasure to delay time and offset some of the attack power. Even so, he was still blasted away and then immediately fled under the yellow sand. In the Xiantian continent, everything depends on strength. Lin Fei said in his heart, this person has already refined the dark armor and turned it into battle armor. It is still quite difficult to kill him in one blow. His strength is still not strong enough. If Lin Fei's thoughts were to spread to the outside world, it was unknown how many people would be dumbfounded. That person just now had the strength of a consummate stage, profound king realm expert, a genuine King Realm expert. Yet, Lin Fei had beaten his opponent to the point of fleeing. That person wasn't a cabbage, but a profound King Realm expert. After plundering a large number of pure essence pills and other things from the treasury of the 18 families, Lin Fei left contentedly. Dozens of miles away, Song Yan, the leader of the 18 families, emerged in a sorry state. Freak! At this time, a huge hole had been blasted in the Zhanyuan armor, and he almost couldn't return. Facing the domineering blow, just now he still felt shocked. Song Yan had recently mastered the 18 deadly staves, but this was the first time he had used it. He was beaten so badly that he couldn't fight back and almost died in this desert. This person is too evil. I can't offend him again. I hope he will leave the Tianhai dynasty after robbing this batch of things and never come back again. Otherwise, there's nothing I can do. Song Yan already had a plan. This person must not be offended again. The 18 families could not afford to offend him. If the opponent arranged a few experts, the 18 families would all disappear. Eat the bitter pill in silence. Swallow it yourself. Song Yan couldn't find any other way. He couldn't continue to take revenge. Even if the other king-level experts attacked him, they might not be a match for him, and they might even end up dead. A medium-sized dynasty. Chapter 291. On a wide official road, a black whirlwind horse was leisurely galloping on the official road. A young man was lying on its back leisurely. He did not look like he was in a hurry. Instead, he looked like he was resting. It was midday and the sunlight was very comfortable. Awesome, this is awesome. The young man sat up lazily. With a casual grab, a pile of pure yuan pills appeared in his hand. He threw them into his mouth from time to time as if he was eating jelly beans. He looked very relaxed. This person was none other than Lin Fei, who had left the Tianhai dynasty. Half a month had passed since he left the Desert of Death. He was now in the territory of the Unfalling dynasty and was preparing to return to his family. As for why he only appeared in the Unfalling dynasty after half a month, the reason was actually very simple. Lin Fei had gone to the demonic beast mountain range to hunt all kinds of demonic beasts in exchange for experience points to level up. In half a month, countless demonic beasts had died at his hands. This rare whirlwind horse was also caught from the demonic beast mountain range and used as a means of transportation. Crunch, crunch. When the pure yuan pills entered his stomach, they immediately turned into a stream of heat. On the head of the whirlwind horse was a little thing. Ever since it had eaten a large amount of pure yuan pills and demonic cores, it had been lazing around all day. Those who did not know what was going on would think that something had happened. Lin Fei did not know what was going on either, but he had already made up his mind. After returning to the family and leaving behind some resources, I will go settle the matters in Shanha City. When that time comes, I will be able to sleep peacefully. Even if I do not return in the future, nothing will happen to me. After that, I can go out and explore. Lin Fei had made up his mind. This was probably the last time he would return to the family. As for when the next time would be, even Lin Fei himself did not know. The Xiantian continent was simply too big. There were countless small and medium-sized empires. There were also many super empires and empires. The Unfalling dynasty was just a small place. If he wanted to explore, he had to go outside. 3 days later, Lin Fei entered the territory of Shanha City. It had been almost 5 months since the last time he left and returned. The last time he left, he wasn't strong enough and even needed the help of the Rune Guild. After 5 months, Lin Fei's strength had improved greatly and he no longer cared about Tianxia. The strongest person in Tianxia was only at the cryptic spirit realm. They didn't even have a single king-level warrior. They could only show off their power in Shanha County. Lin Fei didn't plan to go to Mountain River City. He planned to return to his family first. When he passed by Mountain River City, he would deal with the aftermath. Somehow he thought of the Golden Phoenix and the ambiguous behavior that night. Another day later, Lin Fei entered the vicinity of Guiyuan City. This was already the result of Xiao He slowing down. Even so, its speed was still astonishing. That was because the whirlwind horse was a special kind of demonic beast. Its strength was not strong, but in terms of speed it was the best mount. It could travel 1,000 miles in a day without a problem. However, the speed of the whirlwind horse was too fast. Ordinary martial artists would not be able to catch it. Once there was the slightest sign of trouble, it would escape immediately. One could well imagine how slow Lin Fei's speed was along the way. After entering the main road of Guiyuan City, there were more people on the road, and it became more lively. Did you know? The Lin family of Guiyuan City is in big trouble this time. On the main road, a convoy was moving slowly. In front of the carriage, there were 2 people chatting to kill time. What trouble? Didn't the Lin family have a genius disciple, Lin Fei, who would go looking for trouble? The other person was obviously surprised and had some doubts. What's the use of a genius disciple? Do you know who they offended? The person driving the carriage was teasing them. Who? You know about Tianxia, the Black Tortoise sect? The genius disciple of the Lin family killed the 4th son of the leader of Tianxia, Chen Xian, and also killed a disciple of the Black Tortoise sect. Originally, no one knew about this, but for some reason, they finally found out about it. Now they're going to kill their way here. I heard that they are going to destroy the Lin family. That person said proudly. The person in the carriage was also surprised. Tianxia and the Black Tortoise sect really dare to destroy the Lin family? I heard that the Lin family is protected by the Rune Guild. Lin Fei, who had been lazing around, didn't pay attention to the movements around him. However, those words still fell into his ears. Someone wants to touch the Lin family? Voila, Lin Fei sat up. With his current strength, no matter what he wanted to know within the radius of the official road could escape his ears. When he heard it again, Lin Fei's face sank. A cold light flashed in his eyes, and he flew out. Just when the coachman was about to continue, his throat tightened and he almost couldn't breathe. He only heard a cold voice in his ears. Is what you said true? Tianxia and the Black Tortoise sect are going to destroy the Lin family? It's true. I saw it with my own eyes this morning. The people of Tianxia and the Black Tortoise sect brought a large group of people and rushed to Guiyuan City. Senior, I was just saying it casually. Please don't kill me. I don't know anything. Immediately, the coachman felt his throat loosened. He felt a black wind flashing past, and he could no longer see the figure of the person. The 3 people present were scared and broke out in cold sweat. They couldn't even see how the person appeared and how he left. This person was too terrifying. Just the aura that he emitted was enough to make them breathless. Guiyuan City. The originally lively Guiyuan City was in a depressing atmosphere today. 5 months had passed. The Lin family's position had been expanding, and they had become the #1 family in Guiyuan City. In addition to the disciples that joined the Rune Guild, the Lin family was already in existence that could stomp their feet. In these 5 months, the overall strength of the Lin family had been increasing, and no one dared to look down on them. But today, everyone realized that the powerful Lin family was just a mantis trying to stop a chariot in front of a true expert. They were overestimating their own strength. The Lin family is finished this time. Tianxia and the Black Tortoise sect are going to attack together. They brought experts with them, and they are all profound experts. The one leading them is even a mystic adept. The Lin family has a genius disciple, Lin Fei. I didn't expect that he would cause such a big trouble. I'm afraid that the Rune Guild won't be able to protect him this time. They are coming in menacingly. Once the formation of the Lin family's runes is broken, Lin Fei will really be slaughtered. Outside the Lin family, everyone was talking about it. Rumble, rumble, ripples appeared in the sky above the Lin family, blocking the violent attacks. Following the appearance of the ripples, the energy could no longer be replenished, and the formation of the runes outside was on the verge of collapsing. Lin Jintian, the formation of your Lin family's runes is about to be broken. Let's see how long you can be a coward inside. Don't think that the president of the Rune Guild will come to help you. He has already been invited out by us. Your son killed my fourth brother. Today, I will exterminate your Lin family, leaving no one alive as a sacrifice to my fourth brother. The deafening voice resounded in the sky above the Lin family, lingering for a long time. Outside the Lin family, two groups of people were gathered together. One group was from Tianxia, and the leader was Chun Xian's third brother, Qin Sheng. As for the other group, they were the disciples of Xian Qi from the Black Tortoise sect. One Tianxia was already enough for them to look up to. With the addition of the Black Tortoise sect, anyone would feel that there was no hope. Young master, the formation of the runes is about to be broken. Chen Sheng sat on his demonic beast, waving the fan in his hand leisurely. Once the formation is broken, all the men of the Lin family will die. As for the women, bring them back and let them be prostitutes for the rest of their lives. Let everyone know that this is the consequence of offending Tianxia. Chun Sheng said indifferently. He turned to the young man beside him and said respectfully, Brother Feng, what do you think of this little brother's arrangement? The young man smiled. Master's order is to exterminate the Lin family and avenge eldest senior. As for other matters, Master doesn't have any requirements. He just wants us to witness it with our own eyes. Qin Sheng laughed. That's not a problem at all. When the formation of the runes is broken, my subordinates will kill their way in and kill them all. How can a late-stage profound practitioner like the Lin family be worthy of being a family? The young man also smiled. Once we're done with the Lin family, we can go back earlier. The Lin family. At this time it was already a mess. However, after Lin Jintian killed a few disciples that were causing trouble, the situation was completely calmed down. Father, let's fight them to the death. There are no cowards in our Lin family who are afraid of death. Lin Feng's strength had improved very quickly during this period of almost half a year, and he was already at the 9th level of the martial Tao. He was only a step away from the profounder realm, and under Lin Jintian's fostering, he already possessed the might of a patriarch. As he spoke, Lin Feng's icy cold gaze swept past all the elders and deacons present here, causing them to not dare look him in the eye. Lin Jintian sat at the seat of the host with an expressionless face, and it was impossible to discern his emotions. This was the greatest deterrent to the elders of the Lin family. Big brother is right. I, Lin Shao, will be the first to kill anyone who dares to be a coward in the Lin family. Lin Shao had a bad temper, and he wasn't as reserved as his big brother, Lin Feng, had said. Everyone in the meeting hall didn't dare speak, and they were waiting for someone to speak. Since Lin Jintian advanced into the advanced stage of the profounder realm, no one dared to go against him, especially after the two elders were demoted. All of them knew that the patriarch wasn't someone they could go against in the past. Although Tianxia and the Black Tortoise Gate are strong, don't forget that our Lin family has produced a genius. In 50 years, he will definitely become a true expert on the continent. Our Lin family will still be able to spread our branches on the continent and become a true family. Lin Jintian stood up and said, Since Tianxia and the Black Tortoise Gate want to fight, we will fight to the end, even if we don't have the help of the Rune Guild. Even though everyone knew the final outcome. However, the last sentence shocked them. Yes, their Lin family still had a genius disciple, Lin Fei. As long as he didn't die prematurely, the Lin family would become even stronger and more famous in the future. Fight, fight, there was a rumble outside. The formation of the runes had been broken, and the Lin family had lost their greatest help. Charge in and kill them all. Leave no one alive. Kill the men and bring the women back. Chapter 292. The runes array has been destroyed. Without the runes array, Lin Fei no longer has the ability to resist. Lin Fei is really finished this time. With the runes array destroyed, the remaining fighting strength of the Lin family no longer had the ability to resist. Facing the ferocious experts and the experts of the Black Tortoise sect, it would be a piece of cake to annihilate the other families in Gui Yuan City. Lin Jintian, your son killed my fourth brother. I'm afraid you never thought that such a day would come, right? Qin Shing stood up. Lin Jintian appeared in the sky above the Lin family. Indeed, I didn't. Lin Jintian said, however, I will always be proud of my son. I'm afraid that in the near future, your Tianxia will experience the same fate as my Lin family. I believe that day will not be far away. Qin Shing laughed. Lin Fei, we will not give him any chance to grow. I forgot to tell you, your Lin family's Lin Fei overestimated himself and wanted to snatch the profound emperor's inheritance. I'm afraid that he would have been killed by a profound spirit expert. Gui Yuan City was located in a remote area, so he did not know the situation outside. A trace of shock flashed across Lin Jintian's eyes before he calmed down. You keep saying that. It looks like you're afraid of my Lin Fei. That's why you can only use such a method to take revenge. Your world gang is indeed very disappointing. No, I should say extremely, extremely disappointing. Old thing, this young master will personally send you down. Qin Sheng's eyes flashed with killing intent. What he said just now had indeed hit the nail on the head. Ever since the incident in the Demon Beast Mountain Range, Chen Sheng had been panicking, even though he did not know what would happen next. That was why he brought his men over to exterminate the Lin family. When the time came, he would let Lin Fei go to Mountain River City to take revenge. Soul-breaking palm. Chen Sheng clapped his hands, and his entire body soared into the sky. True Yuan surged out, blasting towards Lin Jintian's position. Lin Jintian showed no fear and took a deep breath. Azure Dragon Capture. Roar! When Shaoqin executed his consummate technique, the Azure Dragon image in the air gave off a dragon might and turned into a huge palm, clashing with the Azure Palm. One was at the advanced stage of the Profounder Realm, while the other was at the Profounder Realm. The gap between the two was too great. Even though the Great Azure Dragon capturing technique was very strong, if one lacked strength, one would not be able to bring out its might. After displaying this unique skill, Zhou Bao's eyes widened. Chen Sheng's expression immediately changed. Something seemed to be amiss. However, in the blink of an eye, a cold glint flashed across his eyes. Since he had already made his move, he would go all the way to the end. Lin Jintian, you only have this much strength. With just one move, Lin Jintian was blasted flying and crashed into a house. Rumble! The area where Lin Jintian landed immediately turned into ruins. Even the houses could not withstand the huge impact and were directly turned into ruins. Everyone could imagine this scene. How could the Lin family withstand the attack of a mystic adept? Qin Sheng, who was in midair, was also secretly shocked. I did not expect this Lin family to be related to the Upper Lin family. It seems like they are branches of the Upper Lin family. Since you have already made your move, kill them all. I believe that the Upper Lin family will not know. Soul-breaking palm. Qin Sheng moved again. He rushed to the sky above the ruins and slammed his palm down, preparing to kill Lin Jintian. Lin Jintian, who was in the ruins, was seriously injured in just one move. A trace of regret flashed across his eyes. His biggest regret was that he could not see his son's name spread across the continent. He subconsciously closed his eyes. Get lost. Just when everyone thought that Lin Jintian was dead for sure, an angry roar came from the horizon. Immediately, countless rays of light attacked. The terrifying aura shocked everyone present. Who is it? Why does he have such a terrifying aura? Qin Sheng was shocked and quickly retreated. Rumble! As the sword light fell, the people of Tianxia and the Black Tortoise sect, who were slaughtering, fell to the ground without a sound. All of them had a wound on their throats. A one-hit kill. Everyone in the Lin family was stunned on the spot. They could not believe the scene in front of them. The mystic adepts were all dead. Other than them, there was no one else on the ruins, apart from the corpses on the ground. This happened in just a short period of time. The one who attacked in anger was Lin Fei. He had finally rushed back at the crucial moment. "Father, quickly eat the elixir." So Lin Fei appeared beside Lin Jintian and fed him a healing elixir. At the same time, he injected a stream of true yuan into Lin Jintian's body, effectively healing his injuries. "Xiao Fei, is it really you?" Lin Jintian asked excitedly. It was as if he was dreaming. "Yes, I am back." Lin Fei handed Lin Jintian over to the people who came up. "Now, I will help you vent your anger." Seeing the look in his son's eyes, Lin Jintian knew that his son had become stronger than before. He was like a tall mountain that everyone had to look up to. Third brother. "Xiao Fei!" Lin Xiao and Lin Feng rushed up, their faces filled with disbelief. "Big brother, second brother," Lin Fei said with a smile. "Take these healing elixirs and let them eat them." When they saw that the genius from the Lin family had returned, everyone in the Lin family felt as if they had been hit by a huge pie. The fear in their hearts disappeared completely. The people outside were also dumbfounded. There were at least 20 to 30 mystic adepts and experts at the ninth heaven of the martial path who rushed in. In the blink of an eye, they were all dead. If not for the corpses lying on the ground, they would not dare to believe that all of this was real. Even if it was a mystic adept, it would be extremely difficult to kill all of them in one move. "Have you all thought about how you want to die?" Lin Fei stepped on the void and looked at the group of people opposite him. If he had not decided to come back first, the Lin family might have been annihilated. It would also affect his future cultivation. "It's you, Lin Fei!" Shin clenched his teeth. He did not believe that it was Lin Fei who had returned and killed all of his subordinates. Other than the few behind him, there was no one else. For some reason, after hearing this, fear rose in Qin Sheng's heart. He kept saying to himself in his heart, "He is only at the mystic adept realm. What is there to be afraid of?" He desperately tried to calm himself down. "Have you thought about how you want to die?" Lin Fei calmly said the same thing. "My young master is not someone you can yell about killing." A mystic adept realm martial artist behind Qin Sheng said angrily. Bang! Bang! There was no movement at all, but the experts behind Qin Sheng collapsed to the ground in an instant, lifeless. Shocked, everyone was horrified. 5 months ago, Lin Fei was only at the 9th heavenly layer of martial Dao. 5 months later, he was already at the mystic adept realm and killed a mystic adept realm expert. They could not think about it. Qin Sheng was shocked. Brother Feng beside him was shocked. No one thought that Lin Fei would be so fierce as soon as he came back. "Lin Fei, I am from the Black Tortoise sect. Do you dare to kill me?" The young man from the Black Tortoise sect said angrily. "Idiot." Lin Fei appeared in front of the young man and slapped him. The young man at the mystic adept realm flew out directly. His jaw was also broken, revealing his pale bones. He hit the ruins. "It seems that you have not thought about it. I will make the decision for you." Qin Sheng was shocked. "How dare you?" Pa! A slap came and Qin Sheng flew out. "You dare to destroy my Lin family. I will cut off one of your arms." Rip! Qin Sheng's left arm was torn off. "You dare to touch my father. I will cut off one of your arms." Qin Sheng's right arm was also torn off. "You dare to kill my Lin family. I will cut off one of your legs." "You dare to destroy my Lin family. I will cut off one of your legs." In the air, everyone saw the most brutal scene. It turned out that a mystic adept realm expert could also fight like this. At the same time, it left an unforgettable scene in everyone's heart. Qin Sheng was like a sandbag. He fell in Lin Fei's hands without any ability to fight back. After losing his limbs, Qin Sheng did not die. The powerful blood and qi of a martial artist allowed him to live temporarily. My father will definitely avenge me, Lin Fei lifted Qin Sheng and said indifferently. Then I will wait for your father's revenge. Boom! Qin Sheng turned into a mist of blood. He could not be more dead. Whether it was inside or outside, everyone was scared stiff. Just now, they thought that the Lin family was finished. Who would have thought that in just a few breaths, Tianxia and the Black Tortoise Sex people would die one by one? A mystic adept realm expert should be strong enough. In the end, in the hands of Lin Fei, he was like a child. He killed them whenever he wanted. He was simply a monstrous genius. Big brother, we're not dreaming, right? Lin Xiao forgot about the wounds on his body. He stared at Lin Fei's figure in the sky with a look of worship. Lin Feng muttered to himself, I don't think I'm dreaming. Third brother's strength? Lin Xiao was already stunned and asked stupidly, It should be very, very powerful. As for the rest of the people, their current mood was not much different from Lin Xiao and the others. Their faces were filled with horror and shock. At the same time, there was something called surprise. The elders and the rest of the people present had never thought that the third young Master Lin, who was useless in their eyes, would one day appear in front of them in such a manner. When he attacked, he killed his enemies one by one. They could not even see how he attacked. Until now, their Lin family had never had a mystic adept realm expert. Moreover, his strength was so abnormal. Just now, they saw clearly that there were no less than 5 or 6 mystic adept realm experts, and all of them were killed in one move. Father, I came late. I have let you suffer. Lin Fei landed. Lin Jintian's injuries had recovered quite a bit. After all, the healing pill was bought from the system. Its effect was naturally first class. It was far from what ordinary healing pills could compare to. Not late, not late. Lin Jintian smiled proudly. The Lin family was shocked. Everyone seemed to have watched a big show. From the overbearing manner of Tianxia and Xuanwu sect, to wanting to destroy the Lin family in the hands of others, the genius disciple of the Lin family, Lin Fei, rushed back from outside and killed everyone on the spot. Even the mystic adept realm experts in their eyes were killed one by one. It felt like a comical farce. It was very noisy, but at the crucial moment, there was immediately silence. This kind of thing that could only be imagined usually appeared in front of them. It was indeed like a dream. The news of the return of the genius disciple of the Lin family immediately spread to all the big and small families in Guiyuan City. Other than shock, there was still shock. Everyone understood that this time, the Lin family really stood up. After 5 months, the Lin family's third young master Lin once again shocked everyone. From the 9th level of the martial path, he suddenly rushed to the mystic adept realm. It was a total of 2 big leaps, especially after becoming a mystic adept realm expert. His combat power was even more terrifying and unimaginable. What kind of monster did the Lin family have? Everyone was thinking about what to do in the future. The Lin family had such a monster young master. Did they need to rely on the Lin family? Lin family. Lin Fei returned. The haze of the Lin family was swept away. In just a day, the Lin family returned to normal. Other than some ruins that had not been cleared, there were no other problems in the rest of the place. The dead and injured disciples of the Lin family had already been properly taken care of. The atmosphere of the Lin family was also not as anxious as before. At this moment, everyone was in high spirits. After all, no matter how strong Tianxia and the Black Tortoise sect were, they probably would not offend such a monster genius, especially with the strength to kill a mystic adept realm expert in one move. Third brother, this time it's really all thanks to you. Lin Xiao looked at Lin Fei. In the meeting hall, other than the elders, there was no one else. Lin Fei smiled and said, We're family. You're treating me like an outsider. Lin Feng also said, Just now, third brother was really impressive. What mystic adept realm expert? You killed them so easily. I think Tianxia will not dare to come again. Lin Fei and the other two brothers got along very well. Seeing Lin Fei show his power, they were naturally happy. This was the supreme honor of the Lin family. The rest of the elders also nodded their heads. However, today we killed the people of Tianxia and the Black Tortoise sect, will they? One of the elders said worriedly. Lin Fei smiled and said, "Don't worry about this. In a few days, I will personally go to Mountain River City and settle all the troubles. In the future, there will be no more Tianxia." Swoosh, the elders sucked in a breath of cold air. If it was in the past, they would definitely scoff. Tianxia claimed to have 100,000 disciples. Was it really so easy to deal with them? Now that these words came out of Lin Fei's mouth, they did not dare to doubt it. Lin Jintian said, "If it doesn't work, we will think of another way." Lin Fei smiled and said, "Don't worry." At night, in Lin Jintian's study room, Lin Fei first set up the runes formation. Of course, it was the simplest. "Father, this time I am back. I think it will be a long time before I come back again. So, before I leave, I want to leave something behind." Lin Fei said and waved his hand. A mountain of pure elemental pills appeared in front of them. Pure elemental pills. The Lin family also had pure elemental pills, but there were very few of them. When they saw the huge amount of pure elemental pills, Lin Jintian, Lin Feng, and Lin Xiao were all dumbstruck. Lin Fei waved his hand again, and ordinary weapons flew out. Apart from these, there were also soul treasures. However, they were just low-grade soul treasures and soul liquids. These are just a few of my gains outside. With these things, the family should be able to quickly raise their strength. This was just a few of his gains. As the family leader, Lin Jintian was dazzled by the sight of millions of pure elemental pills. As for Lin Fei's two elder brothers, they were practically drooling.